the clerk or whoever will announce that the reason why the court won't sit, they just told everyone to run away. That IPOB file is here in the court. Ask everybody that went to appeal court today in Abuja, Wednesday, the 3rd of March, what happened? Were you given any reason why you had to run away from the court? They will tell you no. For the first time in the history of the zoo. That's how powerful we are. That is the reason why they don't want to bring that very case to come up to appeal. Because they know you cannot prescribe people asking for a referendum. Is not possible. They know that during the arguments, people will ask, perhaps one or two media houses will carry it, and people will ask, why have you not prescribed Mietiala and Fulani killers? They hastily, they didn't even adjourn it. They said that everyone should go away, and they all ran away from the court. That's how powerful we are. And that is to tell you that what Elohim is doing in our lives. God brought IPOB to save all of you. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're Robo, you're Yoruba, you're TV, you're Kanuri, you're Nupe, Jukun. It doesn't matter who you are. Bachama, it doesn't matter who you are. Biron, it doesn't matter who you are. IPOB came to save all of you. But I may disagree with his style. What can I? Oh, you want the style of a Fulani headsman raping your mother? Is that the style you like? Here you have your presidency. Here you have people that claim that they want one Nigeria, confirming what we've always known, that Nigerian army, the Fulani generals you have in the army, are the ones supplying weapons to terrorists to come and kill you and rape your mothers. And you're standing up and saying you are one. The IPOB is your problem. I saw that useless Daily Trust newspaper in the north, that Janjan with publication, writing rubbish about IPOB. But when it comes to, you see how evil they are. When I say that black people are satanic, I know. You see, when it comes to IPOB, they say IPOB attacked police station. IPOB killed 2 policemen. IPOB killed 4 army officers. Not allegedly, but before our eyes, you will see army come and kill people. They will say allegedly. Black people are evil. God knows in this show, you people are very wicked, and soulless race. Very wicked. The same Daily Post will say allegedly, in broad daylight, the army came to my house to kill me on the 14th of September 2017, as a result of which my mom and my dad are dead today. The whole world saw it. It's on video. You know, they wrote allegedly. The army, we are alleged. But because they want to demolish Fulani, they came with a game plan, them and their British masters, including Obasanjo. Obasanjo is part of the problem of Nigeria. Obasanjo belongs to the Ogboni fraternity, or should I say Grand Lodge. Is affiliated to the Freemasonry, not Scottish Rites, the Freemasonry you have in England. Ogboni. That is why in the East we don't belong to groups. Idiot, we call them. We don't belong to secret societies. There is none. Forget about Okonko is a passage of right. Okonko is a passage of right. Once you, it's like a bar mitzvah. Once you have grown to the age of 13, a guy Okonko, you enter Okonko, you enter Ebe, of the fraternities, and then you form age grade. From there, that's how it's done. Obasanjo, the reason why they trust him is because he is a member of Ogboni fraternity, of course, the Grand Lodge, they call them, that is affiliated to the Freemasonry.
Mamife ha, we patagodo no no do a, ha we gwakwase ge no ha woboda. Ha ekuo ni ya. Anodu ugwu asa gwagi no ha we manad na south. Agwagi no ndi we number wobodo. Agwagi no ndi kana landmass. Kedu ife anu bo ha no no, and nobody challenge them. Ndi ani ne na-egbu mmadu onye ka enwude ma ndị egbu na Benue, St. Teresa's Madala at 2000 and again. Just tell me, mmadu agwuna. Oife farmers ni na-egbu betere organiji we dị, onwere onye na-ekwu okwu. Oge Senator Ocho Sokora acha kwuru sị, no ndị North bụ nsogbu enwe n'obodo a, ọ dị m ka echiri ya warning, dọọ ya aka na ntị. Mana ebe ọ na-ewute mbụ na onweboro onye ugwu bụ gọvanọ pụtara ọnụ sị si tụnyere Peter Obi, anụbere m. Mana ụlọ fọrọ ka ndị nke ese kwifesọ ha nọ. Ndị ofe mmanụ na-azọ ndị be ha, ndị ugwu na-azọ ndị be ha, onye ọbụla na nke ya. O nwere onye nwekwara national interest at heart, abụ ụzọ ethnic group godu. Ife na statism ọchịchọ nke onwe ethnicity ife adịgodo ha mkpa bifo ikwu okwu Nigeria ife nje ekwu ife a ka nne nwanne nwoke Peter Obi ndụmọdụ ọ chọọ ka obodo a dị mma ọ chọọ ka obodo a nwee iru ọfụ ọmaka mana enwere ndị nwe obodo enwe ndị Britain nye ya n'aka enwe ndị nwere aka oke ha nwa na-eke onye ekenyere gị buru ị nwere access to gold na Zamfara ị nwere access to cotton na tin ife ndị ọzọ dị na be ha mana ha nwere access ha nwa bịa n'ọba ji ga-ekpokọrọ ji dị ebe a wanye gị ofu ibe ji iwere naba ị na-ama n'elu ọnụ ha ji ekwu Jibrin si na-achịcha kwankwaso ọchịcha anọzie na tebụl sign agreement ọ bụ tọn ndị Igbo agbabara anyị from 1999 onye ka ma ọ bụrụgodo nkwa agafu na-ekwe akwa n'elu akwa ugboro onye ka ebe amamife wasị na agha nyere anyị uche ka ebe amamife aha dị biko eji m ihe onyonyo a na-ayọ ka anyị na-ekwokwu 2023 anyị enwe hearing maka referendum na October 28 otu esi wee kwu referendum kwesịrị ịbịa before general election ka e wee marụ ndị so n'obodo a na ndị esori ya ndị middle belt ike agwụna ha ndị south south kwubu maka na a na-achọba iri ha ego enye some of them ọrụ ụfọdụ adịgo committed ndị a niile kwesịrị ikwuchite ndị be ha adị ekwu okwu adịgo ha nweta corrupt cases onye ka ha na-eze ife eji m ife ayọ biko ọ kakwa mma na anyị nweta permanent freedom anyị anaba kama ị ya ata anụ ọbara agba gị n'eze rie esi akwụkwọ nri na akpụ ụra karịa na anyị nweta temporal freedom ọ bụrụ na nwanne nwoke Peter Obi chịchara ito ma ọ bụrụ na ọ ya achịcha ọ bụrụ onye Igbo nọ n'ọchịchị ewee gbuo mmadụ ife a na-egbu for 1 year mee kidnapping a na-eme mana Federal Capital Territory na arụ niile a na-eme mee corrupt cases onye ọjọọ gbaba na APC ọ bụrụ sent ọ bụrụ onye Igbo nọ ewee na-eme ife a ọ dị ka ọ ya chizu 1 year aha m ekwu 1 tenure ọ ya chizu 1 year o nwere ife Goodluck Jonathan mee mana oge ọ na-eje second tenure mee campaign n'ugwu Awụsa amụrụ motu ya ọkụ atụrụ ha okwute mana ndị nwe obodo a n'ife niile a na-emenụ echie men of God warning echie judiciary warning echie ndị journalist warning o nwere onye ahụ fọrọ abanyekwuo ma Twitter na-ekwu okwu Facebook mee ha ka ha kpagharịcharụ the whole 36 steeti mee campaign ma senator dị na ya ma gọvanọ dị na ya o nwere onye kpara ha aka o nwere ndị nwe obodo a na-enwe obodo enwe rapụ mkpọtụ a na-enye na-agbara aka na-aza na onye jiji anakọ eji n'ala ife na-ekwu okwu ya bụ izu ka mma na nneji o nwere ife dị ka be mmadụ ka be onye adịna 2023 amaka mana enwe ndị nwe obodo a ife ọsọ gị mee as far as anyị ka na ebe a anyị ka bụ ohu Britain kwụ ha n'azụ ha kpọrọ unu asị from day one our forefathers suffer the same thing maka ekwere edebere ha isi n'ala ha nchani na-eteke revenge na-eteke the chunk of their meat na-ewest lives youth ndị gọvanọ anyị meghe ọnụ gọvanọ Benue steeti meghe ọnụ na-akọ ife sọrọ ya ụnụ na ife o kwuru na steeti anyị atụrụ APC a na-ekwu onye Imo a na-ekwu kedu ebe ndị Igbo anyị nọ ndị emias kwuo okwu ha kwuru ekerezu mee ka Atiku si wee ji ikwu uche ya akpọchi ya azụ ọ kwụrụ ebe ụmụnne ya ndị ofe mmanụ kwuo okwu asị gị na ọba nke a kwuru nka ọba nke a kwuru nka ha kwuru ofu ebe mana onye a na-anụ onye ya na ala Igbo sọsọ Igwe Achebe isi Igwe Achebe ebee ka igwe ndị ọzọ nọ ebi na ha moto nye ha certificate igwe ndị gọvanọ nyere akwụkwọ politikal igwe onwere ọzọ na-ekwu okwu na gọvanọ so okwu ife sọrọ ya nọ mana Atiku kwuru okwu former vice president ọ bụrụ gọvanọ sọsọ maka na egburu Deborah Samuel okwu delete the tweet gọnarị the whole Nigerians ife na obi ụmụnne ya n'obi mana na nwanne anyị nwoke kpughere anyị ife niile a na-eme kịta ka aka ji ya unjustifiably mee ya ka eji jụ na ama arapụ ya ka o wee bụ na emecha election ọ bụrụ na anyị kweta na anyị anyị arapụ ya maka ife a ka ọ na-agbarụ mbụ ya ọ nwanye ka ọ kụchara na anyị kweta na anyị ọ ya arapụ ya eso m akwado nwanne nwoke Peter Obi mana agwana m unu kama anyị anabata n'ụzọ ọkamma na kama ọ ya aba anyị nọrọ n'obodo a emenyụna ha anyị ọkụ n'ụzọ ọkamma na anyị nabara mba anyị no place like home.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra Hausa-Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct, and today is the 28th day of July 2022. Today is Thursday. I will be joined most probably by Mazi Chika Austin. Anytime he is available, he will join me in this hallowed platform in order to preach the gospel of liberation, the gospel of enlightenment. Ka izi oziọma Chineke na-achụpụ ajọ mmụọ ndị ajọ mmụọ, so that people that have other things in mind in this struggle, we think twice. There is no way you can hold IPOB hostage. It is impossible. You are just one person. It's impossible. You are more better than that bagger, no matter what. Therefore, our leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in the enemy territory, in the enemy dungeon. But make no mistake about it, he must be released. He must be released by fire, by force. We don't beg for what belongs to us. Our leader must be released unconditionally, because he committed no crime. Rather, he was extraordinarily renditioned, illegally kidnapped by the Nigeria and the Kenya government with the backing of the British government. We don't forget. We hold them responsible. That is why IPOB has released a press released a statement that our leader must be released. Owing to the fact of what is happening today, Abuja is no more safe. But before I read that press release, let us pray. And our leader will lead us in a prerequisite prayer as usual. Let us pray.
As long as we come on air every evening, the whole world must listen. As long as we preach this very gospel, Chukwukika Biama must be with us. Therefore, without any further hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwukika Abiyama, who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, Nani nkebine ligwe ka hagedin song, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee all over this very planet that you created. They are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation, as only you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit, because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle
the fraternity in England. Go and do your research. So they trust him. England can trust him. Britain trusts him because he is their loyal slave. Ogboni fraternity and Grand Lodge, the answer to the Freemasons of England. Are you following me very carefully? Now, if Obasanjo were to come today to say that I don't want Nigeria to exist anymore, Obasanjo has the same, should I say, clout and influence that Azikiwe enjoyed prior to independence of Nigeria.
4 years of, feeling sense of, how do they say it? As if, sense of belonging of P2B is a very big trap. Now I fully understand. I have been personally suspecting this not since years, but I've seen it, confirmed it. It's a trap. What they are doing is to distract you and I. Britain understand that their main headache, their only headache is IPOB in that zoo. In their giant zoo is IPOB. So that is why they advise P2B. They must always use one of us in order to deal with us. That is one thing I see in black people. I'm telling you. In Burkina Faso, they used a close confidant of Thomas Sankara in the name of Blaise Compaoré, who is still alive today, in order to kill the rising star. They use his close confidant in order to kill the future of everybody. That is one thing I see absurd. They must have a willing tool. Do you know that had it been Cuba is an African country, they would have killed Fidel Castro with somebody. They would even the Secret Service, American Secret Service would have used one of his close confidants. Had it been the the Africans. One thing I see in Africa is stupidity, gullibility, selfishness, all the bad things you can think about. I'm telling you honestly, I'm not missing words about it. How did Fidel Castro succeed in his Cuban revolution? Because the enemies could not see a willing tool near to Fidel Castro in order to bring him down. But see, in Africa, people, willing tools are bound, waiting for guns for hire. They full everywhere. They will be shouting IPOB one family, but their mind is in another thing. That is one thing that is. I look at it. I say, why this type of character? That is why today we are going to discuss on the topic that says the need to focus on our common national interest. Let me repeat this. You see the whole revolutionists in Africa. Do you know that Amilcar Cabral of Guinea-Bissau that fought the Portuguese under one party they call PIGC or PICV, something like that? The time Cape Verde and Guinea-Bissau they had their independence as one country. The leader was Amilcar Cabral. Do you know that this man was killed by his own lieutenant? His own lieutenant. Sometimes I look at black people as cost. I'm telling you. Had it been Cuba is an African country, they will use people that surround Fidel Castro. They will use one of them in order to eliminate Fidel Castro. Look at what people are doing in IPOB. They can hold IPOB hostage. Just look at IPOB one family. You don't know that they have ulterior motives. I'm saying it with alacrity, without mincing words. Sometimes I feel like Kai once, all of us. Let us die once. Because you see these people, you are shouting, moving genuinely, you don't know that ego, money. What is money? How much? Okay, you build a castle. You will sleep in a room at a time. You will have 1,000 vehicles. You will drive one at a time. What does it profit a man for him to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? People don't understand what this thing means. Losing your soul because of material gains, because of looking for position. Oh, Chineke, I don't know. Before I continue, let me not talk against Ndiche. Because let me bring in our brother Mazi. Please introduce yourself before we continue, because everybody is annoyed. Go on, Mazi, please. Mazi, can you hear me? Mazi, can you hear me? Mazi Chika, are you there? No, let me go back and bring you. Let me bring you back. We must continue what we are doing, irrespective.
Okay. Good evening from my own end. Our great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. I am Mazi Chika Austin, and of course, I'm here this evening as a privilege to share a platform with Mazi Jonathan, and by the special grace of Okike, all will be well. So Mazi, thank you for having me once again on this platform, and I duly wish that Elohim will give us all the necessary wisdom to speak this evening, so that our people will be enlightened, and of course they will understand the importance of what we are doing. Thank you, Mazi, from my own end.
Ndewo Mazi. We must continue, and you have to listen. You know, our leader said, as long as we are here on this hallowed platform, the whole world must listen. He didn't say the whole world should listen. He said MUST. You understand? That is why Radio Biafra is addictable. You become addicted to it, because what you hear, they are facts and figures. Do you understand? Facts and figures. You know, reality, truth is scientific. It's absolute. It doesn't matter the language you use. Truth is absolute. It's just like 1 + 1 is 2. That is the mathematical fact. Reality is scientific. You speak it in Igbo, ofu, ofu. It's abo. It's still the same thing. Speak it in Chinese.
Exactly.
Speak it in any language. It's the same thing. So the language does not matter. Whether you shout it or whether you say it in a low voice, it gives you the same result. That is what we preach here. Mazi, I don't know whether you want to say something before I continue.
No, Mazi. Of course, is logical. Universally, logic is constant. Facts are also constant. There is nothing you can do about it.
Of course. Before I continue, I want to read IPOB press release of 28 July 2022. IPOB calls for the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as terrorists are closing in at Abuja. The attention of the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been drawn to the sudden closure of all schools, including public and private schools operating in Abuja, because of the threats and attacks from terrorists groomed by Fulani people to take over Abuja and the entire Nigeria. IPOB do hereby demand the immediate release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from the DSS dungeon in Abuja by the Nigerian government and her compromised DSS. We are reminding Nigeria and her security agencies that the world, through a UN rights group, has mandated for an unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the appropriate compensation paid to him without delay, because he committed no crime against Nigeria and her sovereignty. The UN group warned that if anything untoward happens to him, it will be disastrous to Nigeria, and IPOB is ready to carry this order to the letter. We are advising the Fulani terrorist government of Nigeria to urgently release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally before their planned jihad in Abuja. We are monitoring them and the shenanigans they are playing with their terrorist collaborators to take over the government. IPOB is neither bothered nor interested in the plan of the terrorists to overrun the Nigerian government, which we have rejected. Our concern is the safety of our leader. We therefore demand that the Nigerian government must release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra now, because he committed no crime as enunciated by the UN rights group. As Nigeria is closing schools, businesses, and other activities because of Fulani terrorist threats to attack and take over Abuja, it clearly shows that Abuja is no longer safe for people to live. Hence, our unequivocal demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before anything happens to him. We demand prompt and complete implementation of the United Nations directives concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Binta Nyako and her jurists should know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life is in danger while being detained in the DSS custody, Abuja. Again, she should know that this terrorist attacked Nigeria Defense Academy, NDA, Kaduna, War Training College, Jaji, in Kaduna, Kuje Prisons, Abuja, and other security facilities in Abuja. Therefore, the DSS facility is not immune to attack by these state-sponsored terrorists. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released unconditionally and immediately, because if anything untoward happens to him, the Fulani government and their generations will continue to pay very heavy prices. The Nigeria government and her compromised security agencies must understand that danger is coming from their brothers, whom they groomed to ravage and pillage the country. We pity those Igbo leaders and politicians who commit crimes in Igbo land and run to Abuja thinking that nothing will happen. The narratives has changed and they will run to Lagos, but Lagos will not be safe for them. They will then come back home soon and answer questions unless they run to abroad. One day, all the evil and killer politicians from Biafra land will be held to account, and only the good ones will walk as free men and women. This is an opportunity to make peace with our people, because danger is approaching to Nigeria soon. The country has collapsed. Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for the Indigenous People of Biafra. This is IPOB press release. that our leader should be released, and rightly so, because Abuja is no more safe. I am, we are monitoring things. Those are our people that think that Abuja, is their, their home. We are monitoring. You destroy our land, do anything in our land, and you run to Abuja thinking that, you are untouchable. We are watching. Because the plan of the caliphate, remember Obadiah in my last year's revelations, that in 2022 they want to bring confusion everywhere, start attacking cities, killing prominent men and women in cities, and take over Asoro, take over Abuja. That is, they are for you to understand what that man said is reality, just like what our leader have been hammering. Will our people hear? I don't blame the leader of a coalition of Northern group that called the stubborn Igbos. I don't blame him. He's right in a way. The stubborn Igbos. You see, even in Borno Medugri, our people are still there. One day he will make money, one day the following day you will start wondering, what set of people are this? What type of human beings are this? They don't run away from danger until everything, you will see, even in that Abuja where people are running away, they will stay in a kind of every day. You see them going to pray. All those nonsensical statements that makes people to continue being idiotic, foolish, without using their brain. Do you know how many of our people, how many people that are being slaughtered every day in the north? This time around they are doing it quietly. Before they used to make noise. Let me tell you one thing, it's a secret. What they are doing, they don't make noise now. Anyone they corner, they slaughter him or her or them and keep quiet. Our people, they know how to bear bitterness, to bear sorrow. They will go, that the JUL or their pastor will give them comfort. And that one goes. They corner you any part of the north, they slaughter you. Because they know, these people, they know that if they do anything publicly, that day Nigeria will cease to exist. Because that is what we have been praying for. But as our leader said, those people, those stubborn people that refuse to do something, protect yourself. In Achuego, in Kanu, in Sokoto, in Bauchi, you are the sacrificial lambs for Biafra to come. Either you do something, defend yourself. How can they defend themselves? Whereas onye ona na acha for ya ndi Igbo. Very, I don't know. Onye ona na acha for onye onye ona juru onye ona afọ. How can I chief? How can I bow down to this man? Onye ona become single. Going to make, instead they will entangle themselves to be slaves to one allergy or the other differently. And they remove some people. No person will talk secretly. You understand? That is what is happening. What they are doing, look at how they are, they are coming methodically. Even in Nasarawa state, I just saw it. That the governor of Nasarawa state have given order for schools to close, to vacate because of terrorist threats. Do you see how they are coming? A time will come, they will be doing this. They will be telling schools not to, even in Lagos, even in Edo, even in Delta, the whole states of the east, of the south. Do you know what? They are methodical. Boko Haram. That is, Western education is evil. They try to, tell the people, all those fighters, Boko Haram fighters, I tell them that, look, what you are fighting, killing Muslims, fellow Muslims, as collateral, we can get it using politics. Power in Nigeria belongs to us, it's in our hands. So you chill down. We will do what you are doing. Do you remember when the terrorists that killed and kidnapped, that bombed the train, Kaduna Abuja train, rail line? Do you remember when they said that the Nigeria government know what they want? Do you remember it? No, I don't know whether you remember it, because we are 15 minutes people. Do you remember, Kamjua? Do you remember it? When they say they don't need any ransom, that Nigeria government know what they need, what they want. And do you know that they are systematically implementing what these terrorists want, and they are happy? Do you know that? The closure of schools. Hey, they hype everywhere and say close schools, close schools. Before you know, they will impose it on every state. Before you know, our school self, they are not even schooling. ASU strike everywhere. They want to make everybody to be worse than Almajiri, zombies, and no education, so that you cannot challenge any politician, any Fulani. You cannot challenge any Fulani caliphate. No. That is what they are implementing. That thing the terrorists say Nigeria government want, they know what they themselves want. That all those things is what they are implementing, little by little. A time will come, you will see, even in Lagos, they will say close school, so because of terrorist threat. And the zombies are moving around doing their businesses as if nothing is happening. They are normal businesses. And you see some people that call themselves IPOB, only what matters to them is stealing money. And I say, what is this? What is all this? Let me tell you, we shall never allow IPOB to see corruption. Let me tell you, do you see? And I said it sometime. Settling of cases in any way available, it will soon extend to the diaspora. It seems we never have enough radical. When you pump a ball or a tire above, you pump it to the extent it will explode. We never explode. We are just absorbing. Because when you have radicals, IPOB radicals, to the extent that they say no, when we never reach that extent. That is what I see. That is why you see people misbehaving in many countries with impunity. When people will start hiring, after all, gang bullet now in every country. When our people will start organizing, not only in Biafra land, but everywhere around the world, all those people say that they know that they can take people, millions of IPOB, millions of Biafrans hostage because of their selfishness, extreme selfishness, primitive accumulation syndrome. For me, I don't even believe that. I say, hey, Allah Biafra Kubuha. No. Me, I don't believe that. Oh, why Kubuha? I don't believe that. Ego Barakiri, India, Iga Obraga, Wuginishi, Iga Abara. No. We settle it, for goodness sake. We settle them. After all, I know my business. It doesn't matter about no what. Many organize. Organize. And you can use any set of people and do away with any person at any given time, anywhere in this world. Why would you say Biafra struggle? I do I don't believe. I don't want to hear that. Because in here, You know, just like onye ji na-eru heru. Or say kele dịrị Chukwu that adị. You know, weak man prayer. We should be settling our issues by ourselves anywhere. That is when you say yes, people will become cautious. Otherwise, the people gonna run anyhow. Oh yeah, there were millions of people na-egwu people na-egwu I know okay, you know what will happen? You know, these people, they don't have conscience. You know, I say this. We blame our political class in Biafra land, in mostly Igbos. But I say, it's not only our politicians. Tell me your politicians and I will tell you the type of people you are. Because you that can sabotage in this little way, if you go on top, you will do worse. That is it. That is why Okorocha from Abga, using Biafra sentiment, he entered the governorship through Abga. Or badi achoro onye ọwụ na waka. This is onye ọwụ na achọ ka manipulate. That is the character we have, and we need to bridle it by fire, by force. We need to bridle it, otherwise we are moving nowhere. Onye me ya achọ ka nwa ahụ manipulate ka na ka ego na abịa ka o were ego, you know, ewepu. No person, no, we know. If you are on dealing with public fund, and you don't want any person to know what is happening there, which means there's something sinister going on inside there. There's something heavy, sinister going on. Otherwise, if you are transparent, if you are nothing, say, okay, come, watch it. But because there is something sinister, that is why you don't want any person to near there. Nnamdi cannot say. That is rubbish. No person can play with our intelligence now and go away. Look at Okpa Biasika. Now they have changed their names. I think I say Hana Azadia now, their surname now is Emodi in Onisha. Why did they change their name? When their father was playing very selfish politics. He didn't think that one day we down on the children. We continue making the same mistake, repeating it all the time because of a very evil, selfish character some of us have. It is absurd. We need to I used to say, hey, we are crying. Why we are suffering like this? Some people will come. Oh, if we are prostrated, why we are suffering? Indeed, one day here, people hate all this and that. We are suffering because of mostly our own making. The bad politics we are playing, the greedy character many of our people have. That is what is reflecting in our political arena. Greedy character. Onye baya che onye owu na waka na ojino obono na erigo, so he doesn't care again. Ine eri ego obono na atoge. We never start dealing with people. That's the reason. Maybe my business you can arrange because all you was going direct. We never understand the importance of our collectivity. That is the reason. Some of all these people. What will you do now? That is a challenge. What will you do? There is no way, nowhere in this world, in any of all these bastards are that no person, no Biafrans are not there. Biafra should be there. Even I've been saying wolf attack. It's not the DOS come and give us all that. No, you can plan something by yourself quietly. Oh, look at why. Let me tell you, why are Arabs respected? Tell me, why are they respected? Because they can do something. Muslims, they can do something by themselves in order to defend what they believe by themselves, not all that. No person commissioned them. You see it? So that if you do something and maybe you blaspheme against their religion or their faith in one corner of the world, in the other where you are afraid, even you don't know, somebody will strike you. down. He doesn't care about his life. From where you are, maybe I'm not the end of the world where you are staying, where you did that thing. So everybody now become careful now because you don't know. Even somebody will use motor as you are going on the street, jam you. You might not know that thing. One of them. It's a wolf attack. For goodness sake. We must continue. I don't know. We must continue. It's either we do this or we leave it. Either we do this or I'll go your own anywhere. Anything you can do. After all, if even in a salvo alaji gazie na Sokoto chowa imam mga na original. Yeah, we see a competition. Is that what you want? Honestly, everybody should respect himself in this struggle because we are not fools. We will never allow what happened during the Biafra war. The Ipob people frustrated Ojukwu. They frustrated him everywhere, from every corner. Onye mmadụ ego ga die at that one. People contribute to ego onye ọzọ onye abụrụ ugbo n'ụzọ ga sị na until I do not on our own, not any other. Ojukwu tell what do you want me to do him? No. Oh, you know, be man on ya. You will know why you need one day. I didn't in a poison if you can. Is anywhere on in this world or a higher people with your own money. A merifoya, apoya, nyoji ababu now, maybe on the neighborhood. A day like that. Gaga. They will not, no person will know what happened. I know every time on your MP line now. Hey, what happening here? Hey, well, we do some, we start doing the doing. That is it. So that people onyo me ya bere. Oh, even you see people they'll come and handle IPOB finance. Yeah, but like I said now, I don't want these people problem or beg. Be handle this and get careful. That is what we want to put in this struggle. Because it's a mirror that with which we are watching ourselves how Biafra will be. We don't want to restore a useless country that has been wake about the untouchable. Because you are a brother to, you are a sister to, who the senator. Now why are we running away from Nigeria? Let us go. Everybody knows how to make contacts. Why you contact? But we say no because this is not who we are. That is why we opted out in order to fight for our freedom in a pure way. But you see people that are bringing this being used as Okpabia takers, as blaze campaigners in our midst, trying to drag what we are doing down, bringing polarization. You see, those people, do they have two heads? Do they have two heads? I say. Only oxygen you are breathing. The same oxygen. Once you remove that oxygen, finish. The person is gone and gone forever. I know here now. We must continue, please. I want to read some headlines, please, before I continue. There is this headline: 2 gunmen held in Imo, July 28, 2022. It's a news for you to understand. Police in Imo State have apprehended 2 gunmen in Ovu in Owerri West Council of the state. Do you know the 2 gunmen, their name? The 2 suspects, Yahaya Samaila, 23, and Saminu Abubakar, 24, both of Kware local government area of Sokoto State. We are said to be among those terrorizing the residents with Hausa extension area of Avu. Do you see it? They will leave their place in the Sharia knot, where ordinary beer, if they see you drinking beer, they will kill you. Now they will come with guns, terrorizing our people. And all these people, the politicians, they will kill our own people. 14 people and counting were gone down last time. And our so-called Sarikin Fulani of Imo State, he came up to say that these are criminals. But look at the main terrorists. Let me ask you, just be honest. Can they see an Igbo man or two Igbo men with AK-47 in Sokoto terrorizing Fulani there, and they will just arrest him and give him to police? No. They will cut him piece by piece, and from there they will start burning Igbo people's shops, stealing them. That is the reality. But they are committing all these things in our land with impunity because of the character of the primitive bush character of the indigenous people, mostly the Igbos. Let me be in position of that power. Who is this person to command? Who is Mazi to command? It's me. I should command. Leno, I'm not here. That's why I say it doesn't matter. A primitive person is a primitive person. It doesn't matter where you live. You can live in any developed country. You are still a primitive animal because of your character. You always want more. You want more. Liver twist. Always more. You want more. Primitive accumulation syndrome. That is what is worrying you because you are primitive. You are fragile. You want more. Anyway, it's a sickness. I see. It's a disease before God and man. Yeah, with the disease. It doesn't matter what the person have. What is accumulated, he has accumulated. All that he need it. He want it. He doesn't. He want it. Kleptomania. Kleptomania. It's very sad indeed. It's very sad. Let me also read this news. Did you buy Super Kanu jets for terrorists or Biafra agitators? Methodist prelate which queries Buhari government over alarming insecurity. Yes, this man is talking. Do you know why? Because he suffered it directly. They kidnapped him, he suffered it directly. And in his statement, public press release, press statement, I heard him say that before I never knew anything about kidnapping. Oh, this is my first time. Because indeed, they want something to happen to them. Now, the time they, if they are lucky to escape, is that time now they will be talking in their own coded way. These people, this is one of the people, he never talk about anything, the injustice, the Fulani killing in our land. Thank God that many of them now, they are secretly calling and apologizing to IPOB that I am not like this. So after many years, because he affects you direct. Do you see it? Because he affects him direct. That is a pure Igbo man. Is this not primitive character? Let me say it. Is this not primitive? Because civilized character is when you see evil, you see injustice. Even if that injustice is being committed against your enemy, against your personal enemy, you say, no. I will not, because this person is my enemy. Now you are committing this injustice against him or her. I will support you. No. Our enmity is different. But you fight the injustice. That is civilization. That is what is called civilization. But you see monkeys, they want that thing to happen to them. As it never happened to them, they are. Now you merit it. What are you talking? Now propaganda. Propaganda, you see. They will call it propaganda. I had in WhatsApp voice, one woman crying that the husband of her sister just died. Why? Whether it's in Abuja or I don't know. Anywhere. He said for eating this watermelon. Poisoned the watermelon that he bought from Abuki. And the person that sent to me, I told him, you know what I told him? I said, these are Ndiara. He said the man, every time, if he's coming back from work, if he finish work, he will go, he pass and buy watermelon from Abuki, come, be eating, they will slice it and he will be eating as his wife is preparing food in the kitchen. He will be in the parlor watching television and be eating. He eat this one now. Bidozie, man, all the poisoned. How many years have we been shouting? Be careful in the zoo what you buy from Abuki. How many years? There are things you contend for your safety. On your own bed, he have died the pay. Maybe the person, he doesn't even listen. He doesn't listen. When he hears something, he say, nah, propaganda beg. Propaganda on what pay. Now, what was he? Maybe all can on a mortuary. With this small time, all go aja. He's gone and gone forever. So, if you don't believe, if you cannot listen, you will hear it in a hard way, very hard way. That time it will be too late. That is what this primate is saying. He's doing. He's lucky to escape because he paid 100 million. Today he's talking now. You buy this. But if we are talking before they did to him this, he'll be saying, oh boy, these are refrats, these are hoodlums. I beg, spreading propaganda. Nigeria is our land. But today he have seen it in a hard way. Are you going to wait until they cut off your neck like Onyara? I will not talk until I look for my head. I didn't see it. That is what many of our people, that is the way they behave. Until you look your head, you didn't see it. Now you act. Do you see it? This is rubbish. This is rubbish. Let the people continue speaking anyway. Don't wait until it happens to you now. Before I didn't know, but now look, I see it. That is rubbish, pure rubbish. Let me continue, please. Nigeria excess crude account drops from $35.7 million to 376,000. The caliphate mother. They are looting. In Nigeria now, operation loot as you can. Anything in your hand, loot. A country, excess crude account. Today, Naira is 710 to $1. And before Buhari enter, he promised that he will make $1 to 1 Naira. And you see monkeys believe it. I look at Nigerians as babies. Like your baby of 5 years, you can promise. If he's crying, you are moving out. You cry, you want to fall. You say, no, stay. Don't worry. If I'm coming, I'll buy you a aeroplane. He will become happy. Hey, daddy, daddy will buy me a aeroplane. You will use it to fly. You fly. Hey, you paint the thing for the child. And you paint that lie for the child, and the child will believe it because he's innocent. His brain never starts capturing to process words and things, reasoning. He never, he's not mature enough. So you profit. That is exactly what politicians do to Nigeria. Nigerians, they are like that. Oh, Peter Obi said how he will make Nigeria a paradise under 4 years. Now, they have forgotten the promises of late Buhari. They have forgotten. They still believe. They don't ask crucial questions. Oh boy, Oga, how are you going to do this? Are you going to bypass the senators that will fight you? How? Or the House of Assembly members that they will fight? Don't you think that this is a democracy where the judiciary, the legislature, they are different? They have different powers. Or are you going to just come and command everybody? How are you going to close the borders? Are you going to be in Aso Rock now? You'll be monitoring borders of Adamawa and the Sokoto and the whole north, so that terrorists will not be coming in. Is that what you are going to do? How are you going to? All these promises, guy, is very fantastic, but how are you going to do it? Because people don't reason in Nigeria. They are like babies. They are carried away by sentiments. They don't know that talking is free unless you are talking on telephone. You pay little money. Otherwise, talking is free. You talk, I will water you and fire you. What is the name of this Yoruba man of APC? Before they enter office, he said that any person, any regime that cannot give Nigeria electricity, that if they enter and they cannot provide electricity under 6 months, that Nigeria should stone them. Now, can you come out to protest? Can you come out to protest? Erufai say Muslims don't protest. They only go to mosque and pray for their political leaders, their rulers. That is what I'm telling you. They convert everybody into feudal system in Nigeria. Forget about what they say democrat. That is rubbish. Rubbish. So all this good mouth, sweet mouth, I will do this, I will do that. Till now, Nigerians are still not matured enough to ask questions. Oga, how are you going to do this? Looking at the situation of the country, looking at how people can sabotage you. How are you going to do this? When the imam will enter the mosque and preach to the people and say this person is Arne, is an infidel. So don't even if he builds school for us, we don't take it until you move out. How are you going to solve that issue? Oh, you sweet talker. Oh, you will do this. You will bring milk and turn Nigeria into a country flowing with milk and honey. And I look at Nigerians, I say, look, these people, they still lag behind. What Nigerians need to do is rise up and slaughter the politicians. I'm telling you, rise up. What Sri Lanka did to their politicians, that is what the politicians in Nigeria merit. There is no, because these are the demons that are making lives unbearable for you. We must continue. Now, excess crude account, $376,000 only. That is what is there. Justin, federal government to sanction BBC, Trust TV for glorifying terrorism. I played their documentary, which also I commend Biafrans, and we do more. As I said there before yesterday, during my last broadcast, we must continue calling, writing, texting BBC so that they continue making mistakes. Do you see the mistake they made? They go and interview terrorists. They interview them. They sat down with them to give them voice. We continue pushing them to make more mistakes. If you understand, they want people to start pitying the terrorists. Somebody say, I kill people, I lost count of killing people. You understand? That is it. It's their own fight. But for you to understand that BBC, we need to continue confronting them. Please, do not stop. Do not stop. Consistency is what we have. We should continue calling and troubling BBC. That is it. No immediate solution to aviation fuel or fuel crisis. Nigeria does not produce it, but they dress it. It's in their land, but they cannot produce it. Do you see? Caliphate, the Fulani Caliphate, they don't know how to invest on human resources. They don't know that this is number one. Number one, for a country to develop, the people must, be invested upon. The brains must, human being. Once you invest on human being, now you forget about every other thing. Human beings start producing. That is it. But the caliphate, what matters to them is what is on the ground, what they can get on the ground. That is why if they go anywhere, they usurp and go and occupy the land. Angola, one time, they let Angolan presidents, Eduardo Santos. He understood this. He started seeing Fulani people going in the bushes of Angola. And after I said, these people from West Africa, what are they looking inside that we're doing in our bushes? They are going there, and before you know, they start burning from there. And the children they born, they claim right of citizenship. They are indigenous people there. That is how they behave. Before you know, that land belongs to them. Before you know, they start digging. Anything they see there is for them. No, Angola say, no. We are not West Africans that are docile. Started pursuing them like rabbits. Rounding them up and started sending them back to West Africa. Deporting them. So this type of people. because all that matters for them is what they can get in the land. Their brain, they see brain as is excess luggage, that they don't need it. It's just God. Call it Fulani person you see. Those cow rearers. Tell them that, look, do you see this? You have telephone. You say yes. Do you know that you yourself can manufacture this telephone if you study it? He will laugh and say, look, he will quote for you Quran where Allah didn't give them that gift. It's for white people. That is exactly how they are. That is what he will tell you. You never know that once you invest on human being, finish. Now human being will start producing things. That is the difference between them and we. I don't know. Now there is another terrorist attack in Owo, and police are doing investigation. They say they are doing investigation. But I think the other day I read a crack team, a well-trained crack team of Nigerian police. They killed 6 kidnappers in Cross River. These are innocent people they will kill. They call them crack team. Well-trained. Where are the well-trained crack team of Nigerian police and military? We are investigating that the former war attack where many were slaughtered. More than 50 were slaughtered. They are still investigating, and this one took place. Don't you see that there is something, there is an agenda they are carrying? Yeah, what is there? Okay, they combine now the former investigation with the new one, right? Honestly speaking, we must continue. We must continue. FN explains a spelling error on kids as Amusan departs for England. When you read this, you laugh. The person that got a gold medal in a race that was going on, the Nigeria they put there in the jersey that costs, if not millions and millions and millions, there is a spelling error. Nigeria is no man business. Honestly, Nigerians are stupid, still relying in Nigeria. When you look at it, they say even when you read the body of the news, they say many of all these athletes they were having visa problem. They were refused visa to England. That is what England, what United Kingdom wants. They give you visa, you hustle for visa, they will refuse and talk to you politely. Try again, you understand? Have you seen an English person that is refused visa to Nigeria before? Have you seen? Now I saw United Arab Emirates saying, announcing that there is visa, any Nigeria visa suspension for Nigeria, every Nigerian. And that brings me, like, in my the topic we are going to discuss. What are the, if anyway, let me leave it now. Let me leave it. I will talk about it in full later. I don't know, Mazi Austin Cheka, do you have anything to add in what, before we go direct into the topic of our submission, please? Do you have anything to say?
Yes, Mazi, I am quite following various news headlines you've been outlining, and of course, it's really heartbreaking, to say but the least. Especially various issues developing every day, day in, day out. One will keep asking if the country called Nigeria is part of the earth. I think that's what every genuine mind will ask. Having, listened to various news headlines you outlined, one would be forced to ask, is there any country on this planet Earth called Nigeria? Because, it's really contradictory that things like this are happening, and people also, boldly say they belong to this kind of country that is now an epitome of disgrace and shame to what humanity stands for. So it's really, but I want to really touch on the press statement by leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra. I want to commend Mazi Powerful for, I think, crafting a well-dictioned press statement. That press statement is really amazing, considering the fact that Abuja is under siege, no doubt about it. And it is also important the word should be put on notice, considering the fact that everything happening within Abuja shows that people living in Abuja are like a cycled bears, living under turmoil of fears and anxieties. Nobody knows what might be the next area of actions of these jihadis and terrorists. But pointing out some of the things Powerful outlined, I think it shows that it's a very strong statement to say about the least, considering the fact that the United Nations has taken a very strong position on this issue. And prior to this time, we also have to understand that European Parliament, a parliamentarian of European Parliament has also made such an appeal on the floor of European Parliament to the Nigerian state. And today we are seeing the multilateral international platform which United Nations stands for, also bringing it to the notice of the Nigerian state. And of course, we also have to understand that Nigeria is a signatory to UN, especially when it comes to UN Human Rights Watch. Nigeria have ratified all the treaties that governs UN Human Rights Watch. So, if UN has given a position, I think Nigeria should show a sign of being a responsible member state of the United Nations by duly doing the needful. Very, very important, because this is issue of exigency, Mazi. This is an issue of necessity, because from what a man Powerful outlined, he had a very strong reference points, considering the fact that places, hallowed places, have been attacked, like NDA, Nigerian Defense Academy, Zaria, and notable places including Kuje prison. So who said DSS facility cannot be polarized, considering the fact that we have also had cases of insiders working in synergy with these terrorists. So I think established a very strong, undisputable reference points. And I think we must also understand that the world is not sleeping over this matter. I always tell our people, especially those who care to listen, I'm not talking about those with baby minds, because you did talk about methodology. Remember, you talk about, I think, method of the terrorists. And we should also not overlook the fact that our methodology is also strong and advanced. So, pointing out that fact to the Nigerian state, I think Nigerian state should admit that when it comes to issue of security, that she has defaulted. And do the needful. And what is the needful? Entrusting the safety of Mazi Nnamdi, if I'm to say, either entrusting it to the second party, which is IPOB, to entrusting the security of Mazi Nnamdi to the second party, which is IPOB, or entrusting it to the third party here, which is United Nations. I think these are strong factors they need to consider, because by all definitions and characterizations, it is obvious that the Nigerian state security, especially when it comes to the seat of power, which is Abuja, is now polarized. Nothing anyone can do about it. And also, Mazi powerful, reminding them, pointing to them that IPOB's business is not about stopping these terrorists from taking the entire seat of power. It's also intending, because it's also a way of defining our modus operandi. It's not our business to stop them if they wish to take over the seat of power, just the way they did in, what's it called? They did in Afghanistan. It's none of our business. And Mazi also pointing the fact to the terrorists, invading terrorists, and their collaborators in Abuja, that this is not our area of interest. You can if you want to overrun Abuja, that is your business. We are not interested to stop you, because IPOB is not interested to deploy her assets and facilities towards stopping your taking over Abuja if that is the best thing you guys want to achieve. But what we are saying is that we have a noble personality in Abuja that must not be touched. Very, very important. That must not be touched. So I comment that press statement on a very reasonable height. And I also want to talk briefly on issue of sovereign wealth, the liquidation of foreign reserve. Mazi, everything is happening. This is my personal submission, of course. Everything is happening based the way Elohim has mapped out everything. If Nigeria is economically viable, trust me, we would have also have a very difficult part to still press on. You should know that when a country is economically destroyed or ruined, just the way Nigeria is today, because a country is rated by what she has in her reserve. That is just one ways at which countries are rated. Your foreign reserve, the weight of your foreign reserve is tantamount to the weight of your respect among Committee of Nations. So we are seeing Nigeria depleting from over $3 million to about $300,000. This is a country we are talking about. We are not talking about local government reserve. So that shows you the level at which things have deteriorated, the level at which the country have been mesmerized. It shouldn't be our headache. I posted something recently trying to give a quick analysis of economy of the regions in Nigeria. It shouldn't be our headache to be sympathetic on their depleting assets, especially when it comes to foreign reserve. The more they deplete, the more they become less attractive to foreign actors, Mazi. So if they are going to deplete more, let them deplete more. But when country becomes unattractive for foreign direct investors, for all kinds of international attraction, then people began to consider the fact that it is better we end this colossal liability. And that is where Nigeria is heading to. So people should understand the way things are working. And ask yourself, what actually depleted the foreign reserve? This is a question people are not asking. And they always tell you is because they are subsidizing the petrol. Ask yourself that. The next question you have to ask yourself, what is the liters of internal consumption of petrol per day? You will now understand that what they are subsidizing are mainly petroleum products that are going to Niger, Benin Republic, and Niger, Chad, and all the rest of them. Going through the Sahel. So Nigeria wealth is now an asset of the Sahel states. You see, there is a lot of disturbing things happening in Nigeria that, in fact, when one wants to say he's a Nigerian, I don't know how to describe such phenomena. So these are the little I have to say as we proceed on other developments.
Thank you very much, Mazi Cheka. We must continue. As I said, the topic of our discussions today is the need to focus on our common national interests. When we talk about national interest, people don't understand mainly. They look at it very light. They need to focus on our common national interest. The national interest encompasses the political interests, security interests, economic interests, cultural interests, and other interests of a country. Now, in Nigeria, we have no common national interest because of our divergent values. While we Biafrans believe in being industrious and in healthy competition for advancement, the Fulani Caliphate believes in stagnation and remaining in whatever misery they find themselves for centuries and for generations, because they believe that it is the will of their Allah. That is why they call, you see, Ahmad Bello said that the Igbos are domineering, that if they enter into a company as an ordinary worker, hand worker, he will come out to be the head of the foreman. He wants to be the head of the foreman. And you ask, is there anything wrong in aspiring to advance? There is nothing wrong, but it's because the way they see things, the caliphate. If your father is a shoe shiner, his children will be shoe shiners. None will grow above shoe shining. They will even use it to give you name. Maybe Bello than shoe shiner. They call it in their language. It's a shoe shining family, and that is it. No person should advance. That is where Allah have placed you. That is their belief system. But we don't believe like that. We believe that your child will be greater, should be greater than you. We believe in competition, healthy competition. Although some people have taken it as they go back to primitive competition because of the Nigerian setting. But we believe on healthy competition. Now, the quest for the restoration of Biafra is a quest of galvanizing people of common national interest into pushing and working together for our collective advancement. In this case, we need to drastically step down our selfish interests. This is because we as a people can never advance with our selfish interests as priority. Do you see what I'm telling you? Do you see what I'm telling you? We can never advance as a people with our selfish interests as a priority. That is why, like you go to Onitsha, you see buildings. Some they build the houses in Gota because everybody wants his interest. So you go and bribe, and they allow you go build the house. That is when rain comes, no place for rain to pass. That is what selfish interest, no common interest. Because no galvanization, no organization. But IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has organized the quest for the Biafra restoration as a quest of galvanizing people of common national interest into pushing and working together for our collective advancement. Because we have checked in Nigeria, we don't have the same mentality. We don't have the same interests. Why the Fulani, the Caliphate, the ones conquering, taking over people's land? We want to advance and be in the mainstream world to contribute to humanity. We want to invest in our brains on human resources, not only what your ground can give you. After all, many of us, most of us, I'm not saying many of us, almost all of us, Biafrans, no matter that you have crude oil everywhere in Biafra land, do we know anything about crude oil? Are we getting anything from it? Every Biafran you see is self-made person. Do you see? That is the difference. Okay.
Yes.
Go on, man. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
Can I come in?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, you talked about national interests. If you look at us as a people, you know, sometimes we might get a wrong analysis by not tracing a problem from its etymological development from the ab initio, so to say. You see, if you look at our own society prior to this time, our people, our ancestors, our fathers try to organically entrench what I might call national interest, if I should put by your own words. Prior to this time, our father, I'm talking about especially the pre-colonial society of ours. Our fathers were able to build a kind of communal system, a communal interest, and they organically developed that system to a point, you know, after the Civil War, because a lot of families were, you know, their communal development was obstructed by the Civil War, by the Biafra Nigerian War. And after the war, there was a very unturning of our system, which most people don't understand. You see, when I look at some people perception of this movement or how they view this movement, I tend to forgive them owing to the fact that a lot of things had happened to us as a people, and you know, there is no action without consequences. When a nation or a people were intentionally and consciously worked upon, effects of those actions are always, you know, seen on the offspring of those whom those actions were melted on. So, if you at the end of from 1970 upward till the time IPOB came up on stage, you would agree with me that after the Civil War, our people discarded that communal investment of national interest to individual pursuit. And those individual pursuits or unhealthy competition, so to say, was as a result of the degree of destruction, vicious cycle destruction, psychological destruction, material destruction, and what have you in our people. So there was this tendency of, it is a policy of British government that the best way to destroy these people is to balkanize them, is to divide them into piecemeals. And that they succeeded in doing, to a point that if there is a problem, if not that IPOB came and started building those bridges in painful ways, because it has never been easy for IPOB. Prior to the emergence of IPOB, if something
Mazi, are you still there?
Something happens, for example, in a place like Arochukwu, a man in Onitsha might not bother to care what is happening. Why? Because prior to the emergence of IPOB and in the post-Biafra Nigerian war society of ours, individualism was entrenched. People began to talk about clanism, like you pointed my attention some time ago. So what IPOB is really reorganizing this our society. There is a rearrangement, reorganization to whom we used to be before the Civil War, to whom we used to be before the policy of balkanization. And one of those things IPOB is doing today is bringing us back together. And Mazi, until that project of unification is achieved, the project of Biafran restoration will still find its difficulty. Because we are talking about national interest here. First of all, you need to get a nation on one space, on one front, on common ground. Then you draft what their interest should be. If you look at us as a people, the outgoing generation, I'm talking about the age of our fathers, who are still embedded with that spirit of individualism and unhealthy competition, are still, not really integrating with the system that our own generation, through the strong work of IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to reorient us and give us the right direction and pursue for common goal of our nation. No longer the time of us, thinking about this state and all those artificial, instrument of divisions have been, jettisoned in our minds, courtesy of what this movement is all about. So, the first project, which I think we are doing greatly, is the project of bringing us under one name and under one umbrella. Because when you talk about Biafra, the British and Nigerian divided terms like Imo State, Abia State, Anambra State, and statism will fizzle out. We see ourselves, first of all, as Biafrans before people start falling to that nonsense called statism and all the rest of them. So it's a very good starting point. Then the issue of interest, what our interest will be, can only be achieved or mainstreamed when that issue of unification is achieved. That's why I always tell people, I said, conservatively speaking, people, or mainstreamly speaking, people think that people understand IPOB or say IPOB as a movement for the restoration of Biafra. That is on the passive definition of the struggle. But beyond passive definition of the struggle is various degree of unification project IPOB have been achieved. Because prior to this time, we have been divided on the state lines. We've been divided on so-called town union lines. We've been divided on class lines. These are things we never had in our primordial societies. We never had them. But these people came, they divided us on state line, divided us on class line, Some people believe that they have Abuja connection, and those who have their village connection can fizzle out. But what IPOB is doing greatly is to eradicate all those colonial nonsense. Yes, imperial nonsense. And it's not an easy task.
Of course.
It's never an easy task, because these people, you know, when a slave gives birth to a slave, what happens is that he transfers by DNA the servitude mentality he has in his bloodline into his offspring. You know, that happens. Now, what happened in the minds of a lot of us prior to the emergence of Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, and the IPOB is the transferring of that servitude mentality, divisive mentality, unhealthy competition mentality, and individualism from our parents to us. So it took a man who understood the socio-psychological dimension of our problem to get rid of this nonsense. If not, Mazi, I believe if you are from Abia, I don't think there is any platform you and I can talk about national interest. Before the emergence of Nnamdi Kanu and this movement, you would have even been drawing the division from the state level, being Union of Ndabia. Then you move it down to Union of Uzakoli. Maybe from Uzakoli, you move it down to Union of your own village. So we were eagerly driving the scissors of division prior to this time, even to our father's kitchen. We divide from state to local government, to kindred, then to our brother's belly. But thank God for this movement. And if there is anything that is giving the imperialist powers concern currently, it's not because IPOB has any armament. That is not what is giving them concern. It's not because IPOB has a higher foreign reserve than the depleting Nigerian government. No. One of those things that is currently giving them worry is the unification project IPOB is carrying, destroying the colonial structures of division among us. Okay, just say for instance, let's look at the mainstream structure. Are you aware, Mazi, that the governors of so-called Southeast, most of them are not in talking?
Most of them, it's all of them. They are not in working relationship with each other.
That of Imo is in cold war with Enugu. That of Ebonyi is in cold war with Abia. They are highly divided, and the more they are divided, the more they find it difficult to present a common national interest to the outside forces. And the outside forces enjoys because they understand that the structure they have created, you can hear Debu Mahi saying that, trying to say people are marginalized by the rest of their brethren in the Southeast. You can see how they were cultured, what they were trained to institutionalize in our land. This is what IPOB is destroying. Because until you get the people on common front, you can't talk about national interest. There's nothing called national interest in disembarked society. Why Nigeria does not have any viable national interest today is because you have no one to project. Are you going to project Igbo's interest? Are you going to project the Hausa-Fulani interest, or even the Yoruba? It's even a difficult thing to streamline these various interests together. And that's why Nigeria cannot tell you this is the center of their foreign policy. Because if they are going towards Middle East, the Igbos will be agitating. You are going towards Islam. I don't understand me. So the same thing applies to us. That's why what IPOB is doing is commendable. Because IPOB is first of all destroying the primordial impediment And that primordial impediment facing us is this idea of artificial divisive mechanisms, statism, clanism, like you rightly pointed some time ago, kindred, and all this nonsense. And that project, which IPOB is on a high, achievement on it, is really giving the imperialist forces a concern, Mazi. I tell you that.
Of course, so, it's giving them a heavy concern, not a small one. Now, as I was saying, the quest for the restoration of Biafra is a quest of galvanizing a people of common national interest into pushing and working together for our collective advancement. Okay, in this case, we need to drastically step down our selfish interests. That is number one criteria. This is because we as a people can never advance with our selfish interests as priority. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. Having a huge generator that provides you in your village as an individual, that big huge generator provides you 247 electricity year in, year out, while others around you in your community cannot afford same thing. That thing, it still puts you as one of the poor people. That is the reality. Now, another example which I wanted to say in the news. Dubai announced the suspension of issuing visas to Nigerians. There is no distinction between rich and poor Nigerians as long as UAE is concerned. Once you carry a Nigerian passport, you're a Nigerian. So their suspension also applies to you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. The only thing the rich ones or some rich ones with double nationality will do is simply switch on using their other nation's passports in order to be allowed into Dubai. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Now, you, like as you said, our enemies divided us into pieces. Today, they put scissors until we are carrying it down to even our direct family. Down, how you are cutting clothes. We are scissoring it down to our various families. Until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came back and said, no, came out and said, no, reverse. And start sowing it. Sowing. Destruction is very easy than construction. You understand? Start sowing. Imagine to cut clothes. You can cut a 1 kilometer cloth under a few minutes, but sew it back now using hand. You will sew, measure it, make sure you sew. It takes much time. That is what IPOB is doing now. As a United Arab Emirates has put suspension on people traveling on Nigerian passport business. Passports. You see, some people are rich. They want to go to Dubai, for their holiday, just to spend money. They are not going there to work or to look for a job. But let me tell you, the UAE arriving at the airport, they will take you the same way they take one hustler that wants to go there to look for a job that doesn't have nothing. You will bring out your electronic account, electronic card, and show them that, look, I have $2 million in my account. They say, the law is there. You are the same with these people that we are deporting. Go back to the plane and we deport you. Do you see? Because you cannot use your selfish interest, your selfishness in order to bypass. They see everybody carrying that passport as a Nigerian. The only thing some people can do, if you have double nationality, you just discard your as a Dangote. Dangote say it doesn't travel to Africa, even African countries with Nigerian passport. He have other passports. I think he have British passport and others. So, in order to remove the embarrassments every Nigerian encounters, do you see the reason? I'm just giving you an example of when we have national interests, focusing on common national interests, now the focus will be to build that nation so that everybody will be proud to be from that nation. You know, I used to say this: if you bring, for example, a homeless American, a homeless white American right now, somebody will just come, for example, buy for him, do passport for him. Maybe he never even handled passport before. Or they do passports. Now somebody say, okay, let us go to Nigeria. You wear him maybe the person that is bringing him is a Nigerian. You wear him suit, buy everything for him. He didn't have one single father. Now, but arriving in Nigeria, let me tell you, upon that homeless man in the streets of New York, upon arriving in Nigeria, only tendering American passport, the respect will be there. They are not respecting him per se as a person, but they are respecting him because of the nation. You understand? That is why the need to focus on our common national interest should be more prioritized than our selfish interests. You understand? You know, enlightenment, which led to the era of awakening in Europe, civilized them into dropping much of their selfish interests to focusing on a common national interest, which they are reaping the good results today. Because it doesn't, you know, many of all these people, per se, if it comes to being personal worthiness, some white men you see respecting them, this and that, they are even poor. They are even poor. But because of the system they are in, at least they have a system put in place that can guarantee them living. And now when they come out with that passport of the country, their nation that they have, you accord them respect. You are not respecting them because of the person, but because of their nation. That is why national interest should be prior. You know, that is why in this our struggle, when you are in this struggle and you still prioritize your extreme interest of grabbing money or position, you are doing this struggle a very big disservice. You are simply a loophole in this struggle. Because what we are doing, we are focusing on a common national interest for ourselves. That is what, just like you said, what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has succeeded in doing through IPOB, making us to understand that, look, all of us will be better off when we have a better nation. We build a better nation, and that is the truth. Like one time he said story, I think he said the story about what also prompted him. Whenever he came back from United Kingdom to his village, people will gather, just like every one of us. People will gather. You don't know who to help. How much are you going to spend? This person. If you want to give, you cannot satisfy everybody. You cannot finish helping everybody. People will be bringing their children. This one is sick. I never have money to go to hospital. I beg. They want you to. So, how many people are you going? Can you help? So now we think the best thing is to let us, forward into building a nation that should take care of everybody. Do you see the idea?
And exactly, Mazi, yes. There is let me draw my strong reference from biblical point of view. There is this a Bible portion that did say that through one man sin entered the world, and through one man the world was redeemed. I don't know whether you have come across such statement.
Of course.
You see, what we are doing is like some people will say precedence. You don't change a people. You don't change a people by mere oratory submissions.
Mazi, na asokwa no yibu abutu yo biko because ndị na-ege na ọwụrụ onye ọwụ na oyibo awụrụ our language biko butuo ya mekwe ka ọ dị simple. Ndewo.
Sorry, I think so sorry for that. Thank you for calling my attention to that. Mazi, you see, you don't change a people. If you watch what happened, like I earlier stated, in the post-Biafra Nigerian war, what actually happened was there were individuals anointed by the imperialist powers. These individuals were our own people, and they infused in them greedy tendency. And at that point, there are things that happened that we never knew.
Mazi, can I ask you to clarify also here this point you made now, or you are bringing, please?
Yes, let me just land a quick one.
Okay, I will ask you something there, please. Go on.
Now, these individuals you saw, most of them were given access to seat of power. These are very powerful, soft, clandestine operation. It never happened by accident. It was a conscious policy of Britain to destabilize a people. It wasn't accidental. So what did these individuals do? These individuals were picked randomly from every part of our land, and they were, nursed and nurtured into having access to public position. And because they had access to public position, they began to accumulate primitively, like you rightly said. There was a tendency for kleptomanic advancements, tendency for primitive accumulations, and the succeeding generation began to learn from them, not by words but by action. Now, what happened? Somebody goes to public office, he stole public fund, and while coming to his village, the popular musician in his village is now singing with his name. If you understand me, there are a lot of accolades and a kind of social and cultural display. People praising what he has done. Then the succeeding generation began to say, okay, that means it's not all about morality. It's not all about sacrifice. It's all about getting it at all costs and then returning home and get the accolades. So what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did was to change that narrative, not by mere talking. We are watching him. The offspring of these people are also watching him. They know that a lot of offers have been made to this guy. He turned it down. And the people are not saying, do you mean somebody can be fed? Somebody can be glorified, somebody can be given accolade, not by the volume of his pocket, but by the volume of sacrifice he has rendered to his people. Whether we like it or not, the succeeding generation are going to be competing on what sacrifice they are going to render to the people. If you watch what is happening,
Mazi, can I come in here to ask you this so that I don't forget it?
Oh, go on.
Now, just as you said, that okay, foreign agents, they infuse or try to nurture in some of our people that in extreme individualistic kleptomaniac character, stealing. Okay, that's true. But my question now is, why should it be common to our people? Number one, why should it be common to black people? Because black people, they are always ready. Why? During my preamble, I said this. I made this statement about Cuba Revolution. Fidel Castro, he was a revolutionist and succeeded in removing an American-backed government of Batista,
yes.
You understand? Do you know what it means? somebody that America is directly supporting, corruption everywhere, just like what is happening in Nigeria. Britain is supporting the caliphate, they are taking over everything. Now Cubans are living in misery, whereas the president prior to 1959 Cuban revolution was very, very rich. You see Americans living in Cuba, in Havana, and the other Cuban territories that are very rich. They are eating and whining, very rich. Now, this small person, not that he's small in stature, I mean, when it comes to one person that challenged the status quo, America tried. Did you think that the American CIA, they didn't try hard to scavenge for or scout for somebody that will bring Fidel Castro down? They could not do it. No person accepted. No person accepted to be willing tools. You understand? And that is why the Cuban Revolution was successful. But once it comes to our own land, our own people, let me start from our own people, Biafrans. You have many willing tools that are ready for, why will it be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Okay, after Mazi now, it's me that should command. Who is the chicken to command? These people, that tendency was there already, now looking for a way to sprout out until they see, just like, Ashawo, the way he dress, you will see it in her that this person is looking for a man. Now somebody wants to talk to her immediately. You understand? So they are there already waiting for people to come. Why is that tendency? That is what I'm asking. Because if Fidel Castro should be maybe a black person or a black country, they will have used even his own nest of kin. Because you see, look at in our struggle today, a whole even brother of our leader, even if it's not blood brother, I don't care. But look at the actions that are going on everywhere. The people, you see, people don't care about the future of the group, the movement. They don't care about the national movement. What matters for them is for them to be in command, for them to hold the people. Everyone, the whole thing. Until you people bow down to me, do what I want. Don't you see that they are waiting even for any foreign agents or agency that calls them? They are ready to do anything. Don't you see that? Why are people accepting first, making themselves available? If they come to you, you say no. Please get deep behind me, Satan. They will run away. But because of the tendency of stealing, kleptomania. Even if you have money, you want more. So you have to steal from somewhere, from Ipob, from any place. You have to steal. That is your character. So that is what I'm asking. Why should those people be made out? Look at Okpa Biasika. Okpa Biasika was available. If he know that what he was doing was wrong, and even the enemy didn't trust him. Today, the children, they are answering, is it Emode family? They call them Emode. I think in Onisha. They changed names. Their father didn't think about tomorrow. That is what I always try to tell these people, whether they have conscience. The actions you are playing today, it will affect the people tomorrow, generations tomorrow. They don't care. What matters to them is that their self, I want the power. It is me, the power I should go to. It is me, money. I want money to do anything I want, so that no person controls me. Why is it so? Why is that primitive character? That is what I want to ask. Mazi, go on, please.
Okay, first of all, let me start my response to what you say by saying the worst thing that can ever happen to a just man. I repeat, the worst that can ever happen to a just man is for that just man to expect everyone to be like him. It's a self-deception. It's a part of destruction also. Mazi, are you listening to me?
World is listening, please.
Good. You see, I am not the type that do much emphasis on people inability to integrate and understand the demand of the time. I don't really spend time emphasizing on that because I believe reality will always redirect the minds of the foolish. That is me. That is my personal philosophy. And if we going back to Fidel Castro, you just or we are using as a yardstick. If you also study Fidel Castro, you understand that Fidel Castro, though the revolution took place, I think in 1959, thereabout, the ousting of Batista.
Yes, 1959.
Yes, 1959, if I'm not mistaken. But remember, also do not forget that Fidel Castro successfully achieved that project with his July 1952 recruitment of only 1,200 people, Mazi, out of the entire population of Cuba. Only 1,200 members in 1952, I mean to say, July 1952, gave him the courage that led to the success of his operation. The entirety of Cubans never backed up Castro philosophy or the movement, as he called his own movement as of the time. He called it the movement. So if you check the percentage of 1,200 people in the entire Cuban population as at the time we are talking about, you will understand that it's not even up to 5% of the totality of the population. But what happened? You see, in the study of humanity, it has been clearly shown, these are historical facts, that wise minority that are consistent are always at the end point saving the foolish majority that are confused of where they are going to. This is a historical fact. This is a social reality, well researched and well established, irrefutable. That is just the way it is. So, you see, if anybody in this struggle is expecting the majority of us to be ideal, to be mentally tall, to understand what is happening, to me, I believe that that person is on the path of self-deception. One good thing I respect about our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is his deep understanding of psychological and sociology of our people, and even beyond our people. Whenever you always say 100 men, ask yourself, what is the percentage of 100 men to the total population of Biafrans? What is the percentage? It's not up to 1%. If I'm not mistaken. Maz, am I right? 100%.
Of course.
The 100 people, what is the percentage on the entirety of the Biafran population? It's not up to 1%.
It's not up to 0.0000001%.
God bless you. Now, why is it not even hitting up to 1%? This is the difference between historians, political philosophers, and ordinary passive minds. Ordinary passive minds.
Try to understand my question also, so that you go towards the.
I'm coming to where you're talking about. Remember, I'm not only talking to you, I'm talking to the generality of our audience.
Yes.
So that is quite the two different things between the passive mind, political philosophers, and historians. So what am I talking about? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, just like Fidel Castro, who started with 1,200 people in exile, which is not even up to 1% of the totality of the population. They understand one thing, Mazi. You see, you did ask a question. Why is it is common among our people? Why is it is common among the black race? I was speaking to a friend in America. Of course, she's a black American, and we're discussing about some of the things that happens about the black Americans and why it looks as if they are the most complex and unorganized race in America. The solution or the reason for that is not far-fetched. You see, when a people are polarized, sociologically polarized, just like the language I know that when people don't have leadership, you should understand leadership in this context is not the governors. I'm talking about sound leadership. It is very difficult. Back to what you said earlier about national interest. It's very difficult to have those people organized. And eventually, if that leadership emerged, just the way it has emerged in our own case, in our own race, in the person of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when that leadership emerged, Mazi, there are also, you should also sincerely and objectively expect the remnants of those who had constituted nuisance in the society to still remain in that part of the society. If you look at Fidel Castro, even when Fidel Castro was also invaded, ousting Batista's government, there were also Cubans who were in the military government of Batista and led government of Cuba and other places who also opposed Fidel Castro. So it's always that way. But one thing I think we should do as a people, which that always amazes me when it comes to looking at the leadership of this struggle, is this: identifying individuals who are weak. I call it weakness. That is my personal description of this nuisance I'm seeing some persons constituting around, because you have actually said it's like primitive accumulation and desire for, but I see it as weakness of human nature and human soul, because it takes a super soul to understand the essence of human sacrifices. Not everybody can do what you're doing without placing a money benefit on it. It's not easy for you. The time you are choking out to make sure you get this thing you're doing moving on, Mazi. It's never easy for you. If you tell me it's easy for you, I will definitely doubt you. But you're doing it because you operate in a high human soul frequency, which everybody is not, endowed by the Creator to possess. So, personally myself, I might not build my energies and synergies talking about feeble and weak minds, because I believe by nature they have chosen the path they are dwelling on. But what is most important here, and which we must understand, Mazi, let's ask ourselves this objective question: why is it that in all these shenanigan displays and effort to distract us, why is it that we are still recording success? What that tells you is that when you have less than 1% resolute and committed fellows, your result is achievable. Less than 1%. The 99.something% can be foolish. If 1% is resolute, trust me, the project is achievable. And that is how I see it.
Mazi, you are right. You are right. But the problem we are having is, even inside the so-called less than 1%, you still see people that will pretend as if they are inside that 1%. But after you find out that they have another thing in mind. That is where I am always afraid. Look at, I just give you an example. Look at somebody like a Blaise Compaoré, who today is apologizing to the Burkinabe, the people of Burkina Faso. On please, what I have caused you, I'm sorry. I killed this guy, I'm sorry. But the thing has been done, and the effect is being felt. So any apology is medicine after death. Just like what Pope did in Canada. Oh, we killed. But the fact they have changed the system, the demography, everything. So the new order, the place is there. Your apology cannot stop it again. But what I'm saying is this. Why is it that inside the so-called 1%, like Blaise Compaoré, he is even the second man to this guy, to Thomas Sankara? Had it been they allowed the Thomas Sankara to continue working before God and man, by now, even African countries, other Africans, sub-Saharan African countries would have been imitating Burkina Faso.
Of course.
But the Scottish who did that is his right hand man. That is why what I say, why is it so? In Africa, you are right hand man. The person you think you trust is that person even that we now the person you don't even expect. In this struggle, is it not so? Is it not what we are seeing?
Mazi, like you pointed about Ankara, remember the same thing happened to Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. Remember? It is still African conspirators that eliminated him, isn't it? The same thing happened to Jomo Kenyatta and the rest of
Amilcar Cabral that was killed by his own man. Amilcar Cabral that fought for the independence of Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde.
Now, when you look at those realities, I always say this. You see, one of those things we are really enjoying in this struggle, which I think was not really common among those who had fought for this in African continent, is one thing. You see, IPOB decided to bring a very wonderful methodology, and that methodology is really resounding. And what is that methodology? Mazi Jonathan, you are here speaking to millions of Biafrans. Every single historical expose you're unleashing here is doing what we call reawakening to the minds of people listening to you. You see, this struggle is going in pari passu with information, reawakening, conscious building of minds, which those people we are mentioning today never had the opportunity because of the advent of some of the technologies we are enjoying today. And trust me, Africans, like you rightly pointed out, are full of records of betraying their own, especially betraying their own saviors. That does not mean also that is exclusive to Africa, because George Washington, who eliminated him, J.F. Kennedy, who eliminated him, they are not blacks, they are also fellow white skin. But the truth remains that one of those things we should really look at in the issue before our hand is this fact that we have been able to galvanize through the instrumentality of this struggle ideal minds, courtesy of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu activated. Because you see, I did mention earlier about precedence. It's very wonderful in whatever one does. Foundation matters, and one of those foundations that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started this struggle with is the foundation of consciousness, reawakening, renaissance, mental rejuvenation. If that was not earlier embedded in this struggle, by now would have been talking about selling of cement and building materials like the rest of them who were here before us. But because he laid a foundation of mental reawakening, that's why there is no one at the apex of this struggle, especially among the leaders, among those who are speaking to us via all our information dissemination channels, that is not on daily research. I've been listening to you each time you invoke the realities of historical antecedents. And trust me, you might not understand millions of Biafrans you have really impregnated with your knowledge. Believe you me, as we are doing this aside the nation state called Biafra, the imagined nation state called Biafra, what we are doing in the struggle is a litmus test. Is a kind of a demo test of what and how the society or the country we are pursuing to restore is going to be. Because in the struggle, we are not seeing that what is highly entrenched, especially among our top leaders, is mental exploration. People are exploring. People are researching. Do you not think we will get to Biafra and stop it? That's exactly what happened. You know, Kanu laid almost the same foundation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu laid in our minds. Because Kanu started from the angle of forcing Ghanaians and Africans by extension to think outside the box, to suspect everything happening around them. The idea of imperialism and neocolonialism were all popularized by Nkrumahnism. And a lot of Ghanaians of 1960s picked up that consciousness. Unfortunately, the British could not tolerate that, and the British and some corrupt Nigerian military juntas eliminated him. So, what am I trying to say, Mazi? All these things you pointed out, unarguably, there are realities, existing threats before us. No doubt about it. They are existing. But there is something we can do. Like a wise man always said, there is nothing you can do to stop the bird from flying above your head. But there is something you can do for you to make the bird not to perch on your head. And what is that thing you can do? By keep walking. Because anytime you stand, the bird will take you to be a tree and perch on you. So that which you can control, take a strong advantage of it. That which you cannot control, you need not to give headache over that. So what am I trying to say? Prior to the emergence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we never banked heavily on sacrifices. Remember, we never talk about this ecumenical system, social ecumenism. I'm talking about we coming together to talk as a nation. Nobody felt he could die for Igbo project. People were just trying to die in that their unit, family unit, parochial tribes. It's my family. That is what. But today, people are now projecting a wider identity beyond Igbo nation, even to Biafra identity at a larger scale. Courtesy of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did, not through oral submission, but practical steps. So you see all these shenanigans you're seeing, all these distractions, all this display of remnants of those imperialist north and nurtures nurtured individuals. Their remnants you're seeing trying to distract, they will all fizzle out by the instrumentality of our consistency and time. Remember, Mazi, prior to this time, people were ashamed to associate with IPOB. But because IPOB maintained her consistency, today, UN parliamentarians are commenting on IPOB. United Nations is also saying that. Do you know that even the likes of Ohaneze that were earlier antagonistic to us are now even advising federal government to do the needful, to listen to UN? You see, success have a whole lot of siblings. Failure is an orphan. Whatever everyone is doing now, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Our result will clean up a whole lot of distortions. Trust me, Mazi. So, one of those things we cannot control is one of those things we cannot control is
Mazi, are you still there? Mazi, go on. I understand. Go on.
So that is all I want to say. Thank you, Mazi.
There were. Thank you, Mazi. And like what you said now, that is why our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he instituted or started this struggle by making us to understand that IPOB should never indulge, condone, or allow criminality. That any day IPOB loses focus and start engaging in criminality, he say, do Biafra bye-bye. Do you know why? Because criminality will now, the process of criminality will now redirect, distract our main focus from Biafra agitation to making gain. Na ndị ga-agbuwa bank na ego egbuwara na bank ndị gara ntiwa bank for ego ole ka ọwụ, so that I'll get my own. You know, that ndorondoro will now enter. Do you see why IPOB always maintain the standard we are in today? When you look at even people, some people that their mentality is to enter into finance, and the teachings of IPOB never remove them or never turn them, awaken them to understand that we should focus on national issues or national interests instead of that their private interests. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is like you, he wouldn't be there suffering. He would have done and collected even when he had meetings with governors in Biafra land. They come with different types of currencies. Bribing you for Nigerian government is nothing. It's nothing. Any money they give is for them. They can sacrifice everything in order to make sure that quagmire continues. That is the reality. In order to make sure that status quo, where they are, you know, each person, they have, individuals have oil wells that where money is reading like you know, when you are meter, you understand, 1 million, 2 million every day. So they are ready out of crumb. They are ready to give you. If they give you $100 million, or if they give our leader $1 billion, it's nothing to them. It's nothing. Do you see it? But why should you be pursuing your own personal interest? You put your personal interest above our national interest of our national focus of restoration of Biafra. Why? If it didn't happen your own way, you would let everything spoil, let everything scatter. Because you are a very primitive Homo sapien. It doesn't matter where you live. You know, I say this. primitivity and civilization is not about where you live. You can live in the most developed country of this world, or the most developed countries of this world. You are still orangutan. I don't know whether people understand what I'm saying. You know, every time I used to repeat this. You can live in the highest streets, in the highest place, community in California. That's the richest side. You have your mansion there. You have your private jets. You have everything, but you are still a monkey in your thoughts, in your behavior. You are still a monkey. You don't think about others. You only think about yourself. That is primitivity. That character is a very primitive character. The Europeans, they jettisoned this. The era of awakening made them to understand that character is primitive character. That is why they jettisoned, and that is why today they build a viable country that they are proud of, that you are dying to go to be a citizen there. Where they built, they made sacrifices, they jettisoned that their primitive interests, their primitive ways of reasoning, they jettisoned it. Now they succumbed to a common interest. Even that common interest, sometimes it goes on collision to your selfish interest, but you go low. You say, for the sake, you know, this world, it may give much anyway, for the sake of Biafra, you leave it. That is civilization. Now, I didn't want to give up this thing, but anyway, for the sake of Biafra, I leave it. It makes you, that is civilized character, because you take our national interest as a priority. Not I must be in charge. Now me go be in charge. If you know our leader, there is a prayer I used to say, I used to play here. Our leader said, if killing me will bring Biafra, please let the JUL government come and kill me so that Biafra will come. Do you know what it means? What matters for you is to be where money is, so that you be in command. I should be in command of ESN. Who is Chinasa to do that? Who is this person? After all, Nnamdi talk with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu every time I drink tea with him. What is that? That is a primitive character, for goodness sake. It's primitivity. It is never a civilized character. That is the character we are trying to jettison in Nigeria. That is why we want to go to our pure system, devoid of this type of behavior, whereby you leave that your sentiment, your private sentiment, your private interest that is against our national interest. Do you think that maybe, for example, people working, handling money in countries like Germany, in countries like Portugal, Netherlands, in Australia, do you think that the individuals working where there is money, that they don't want to they don't want to steal money? Is that what you think? They want, but they see it as sabotaging their government, and there is law against it, so they respect themselves. I respect it. Okay, even if you give account of all the money that passes through you to the last penny. But in our own land, you see people, they say, na sharp guy. Mo yoshi, honest yoshi. If you spend something of $1, he will write, for IPOB. Now write it $500. Now go. Because you are primitive Neanderthal. That is why. Do you understand? Go IPOB. Nah, beg. Can't I enjoy something that you know the price? You know it is $2. You write it $1,000. Do you see yourself? Just judge yourself. Judge yourself. That is what, sometimes it baffles me. You are not afraid of handling, things like this. You are not afraid. You are not afraid of people's interests. You are not afraid of people that have died. Even in local level, come to our communities, in our villages, you see people embezzling village money, village common funds. It started right from there. I say my dad used to tell me stories. He count the people that were doing that, even after the war, even to 80s. But all of them are dead. Yes, they can build skyscrapers. This one build it, but they are dead. And one thing that baffles me that I see, their children, their families are having ricochet effects today. It doesn't matter what they have, but personally, my father will be telling us, look at, do you see how their families are? Because of the embezzled community money. They try to lure me in. I refuse. They poisoned him they poisoned him 2 times. He didn't die. He said still alive till death. The family, you see them, this one, the children, nothing. So people should be afraid. That is the thing. Because when you turn the minds of people, people start, now good. It's not going to go well for you. This world we are living, you leave a legacy. That is the thing. That is the main thing. Because everybody is going to die. When you die, you leave people, generations that didn't know what you committed. You leave them into different types of hardship. It's not only monetary, financial hardship. People can be money. I know families that are very rich, but that family, so there are many things we need to understand in this life. That is why anything about even this one is right from, is in the gene. Public fund, I'm afraid of it. I have to be upright. No person is perfect, yes. But in this struggle, please let us have our common national interests as our focus and continue maintaining it. There serves us right. Pursuing national interests allows us to have a unity of purpose. Unity of purpose. If you digger here, polarization, as our brother used to say, because that is the weapon of the enemy, to polarize. Make this one go left, the other one go right, the other one go left. Do you see? That is the reason why the caliphate, they abhor, they jettison anything that will bring disunity. Although there is no unity per se inside them, but they always claim unity. They're not. Instead, they make a Christian to be the head, present him to be a head, whereas we know what is going on the ground. But they made sure to be given a unified face to the public, to the world. Whereas when they come in our own side, they will try to divide you with your interest, with that thing, because like-minded fellow, how much are you going to give me? Even if I'm hungry, I will look at that thing as a poto, because that is how it is in my life. What are you going to get? I'm hungry. You say, no way. So people like us, they cannot even try it. But when you have for them to have, for the enemy to have a thoroughfare, they must use people. That is why I'll ask that question. Why do many of our people, why are they always ready to be used? The reason is because they harbor that greed, that selfish interest first, already waiting. They are not genuine. That is the reality. Therefore, as I said, pursuing national interests allows us to have a unity of purpose. Today, under IPOB, we can speak to the world, which couldn't be achieved as individuals. Before IPOB, anything that happened, you complain, individual, nothing. Oh, na Igbo group, if you talk, they say, nah, we are not inside politics here. So, but IPOB has made us to be talking on through one voice. Do you know this unity of purpose? It is the reason why after the Second World War, when Germany decimated Europe, forget about what is happening, what they are doing. You see Britain, Germany Hitler would have taken Britain if they didn't commit that error, because they bombarded Winston Churchill to thy kingdom come. So they were waiting for their boot on the ground. As for France, Charles de Gaulle already ran away to Algeria. From Algeria, he ran to England, government in exile. So that when you see people talking that why come here, it's only in Nigeria, come here and fight now, you tell them president of France, he ran away, he was pursued, he didn't wait for the wait there and say, no, bravado, I have to be killed, don't worry, even if I die, no problem. No, it is stupidity. He first of all ran away, flew down to Algeria as a president. He ran away when Germany decimated France. And from Algeria now he went to United Kingdom and met Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill too, they were waiting. They tried everything in order to bring America into the war, because they were waiting that they are gone. United Kingdom, they were gone. Because Hitler decimated the whole of Europe. If not for the help of America. And after the war, he gave them that sense to form a united front. That is where the birth of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. If you understand, that is what it means. So that any of the country that is attacked, all the countries will come to the rescue. That is unity. That is the savior of mankind. Unity. Once you are united, speaking with one voice, now nations will start respecting you, hearing you. You will start having breakthroughs. The caliphate, they understand this. They know the secret. That is why they always remain unbreakable. It doesn't matter, middle belt, they call North Central is shouting, we are no more part of the South. They will force them. You are not. They will say, no, we are no more part of the North. They will say, no, we the North, including Benue. Do you see that? Because they understand what is the unity of purpose. Europeans, they understood it. That is why America led them into forming NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, in order to fight collectively. Any attack against each country is attack against them. Do you see that? That is civilization. Being able to form alliance. Do you understand? In our own case, people are individualistic. Nah, let me get my own money. Nah, no person can control me. No, in this world, if you are not controlled, you are just like a wild animal. Every human being in this world is being controlled one way or the other, through the law of where he's staying, through even the family or brother, you must be under control, otherwise you are a wild beast. The only wild beasts that are not controlled, they are in the jungle. Kill or be killed. You fight and get your food. Another day, another bigger one will kill you, and you become the prey. Yesterday you ate something. You fought for prey. You know, and you killed your prey. But today you become a prey to something else. Human beings are not wild beasts. Let us stop this character of no person can control me. I say it as it is. I have to behave as I want. You are simply a wild beast. If you want to behave like that, go and live in another planet. Because in this world you must be controlled. Do you understand? United Arab Emirates say no visa to Nigeria. Now enter flight and go to UAE without visa. As you are uncontrollable, no person can control you. Use Nigerian passport and fly. Say you want to go Dubai. Do you see that you are under control? Do you understand that? Going to a restaurant and they tell you, wait, your food is coming. You are already under control. Because you should have walked into, if you are not under control, you should have entered into the kitchen direct and take a food as you want and come out. But we human beings in this world, we are controlled in one way or the other. In our daily lives, we are controlled. When you are driving, you are under control because you cannot drive as Nigeria. You are driving from the right hand side. Why not drive from the left hand side? You die. Because that is control. Every human being is controlled, whether you like it or not. So let us stop this rubbish. With individualism and extreme selfishness, we will continue doing harm to our common national interest and gradually going into extinction, which is what we are fighting against. I am going to stop here so that when I come back, I will open the lines so that people will start calling in. I will go into a few minutes break, please. Please, do not go away. Don't go away, please. If we come back, I will open the line so that people will start calling. Please, don't go away.
Worldwide phone call campaign alert continues. BBC, a propaganda machine and racist media set up by the Great Britain to oppress the oppressed people of Biafra. BBC, your media war propaganda of 1967 that led to the genocide of over 3.5 million Biafrans, men, women, and children, did not stop us. Do you know why? Because we are the sons and daughters of the great lion from the tribe of Biafra. Our minds are made up. Your shenanigans, antics, and fake gutter media will not stop us either. We must and shall restore Biafra. Biafra worldwide phone call campaign alert continue. Now pay close attention. Be polite when you call BBC and use the following prompt when you call. Hello, my name is. You tell them your name. I am calling to ask about BBC policy of propaganda against the victims of genocide. Since you are obsessed with telling lies about Biafrans, here are 5 more questions to consider. Now, this is the question to ask BBC. We are witnesses to BBC racist coverage of terrorism, implying that black Africans' lives don't matter. Yet the same BBC rallies the whole world at the slightest terrorist incident in the United Kingdom. Here is the second question. But when it comes to Nigeria, BBC not only hides terrorist killings, but they slander the victims and survivors of terrorism and genocide. The third one, when will the grand patrons of lies and hypocrisy, the BBC Fake News Network, make a documentary about the daily slaughtering of Nigerians by Fulani terrorists and the government of Nigeria, whom you protect, so that London may plunder Biafra's resources? The fourth question is the oil and gas of Biafra, the reason that BBC is obsessed and terrified by the agitation for freedom by the victims of 400 years of British colonial thievery and crimes against humanity. And the fifth one, we call on the good people of the world to ask BBC and UK government why it aids and abates the genocide in Nigeria by spreading lies, propaganda, and disinformation against Biafran freedom fighters. BBC, we know that you are United Kingdom government agents of imperialism with no modicum of shame. Take down your wicked fake documentary against the victims of genocide and stop your sadistic meddling in the lives of black Africans. Now pay close attention. This is the time to call BBC. You can call them 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Biafran time. Date 4th of July to 30th of September 2022. Now grab your pen and paper and pay close attention. You can call BBC switchboard on this number +44 2087 438,000. I repeat, +44 208 743 8000. Or you can tweet.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra Hausa-Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land. Remember, tomorrow I will be here with some members of the DOS, including our deputy head of the Directorate of States, Mazi Tony Zumike. Tomorrow being Friday by 7 p.m. Biafra time, please. Do not miss the broadcast, as always, please. Therefore, our lines are now opened. Our direct line is +1 213 328 6224. I repeat, +1 213 328 6224. Our WhatsApp and Signal line is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. I have a caller on signal, waiting. Caller on signal. Can you hear me? You are the first caller. Please try to make it a worthwhile call, please. Welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Caller on signal, can you hear me? Caller on signal, can you hear me? You know, you call Radio Biafra, you are talking to millions of people. You should be respectful, please. Caller on WhatsApp, welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp, welcome to the program. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, Mazi. From my location, Mazi Jonathan. Yeah. My name is Francis Abujuku. I'm one of the principal officers in UAE. Submission today actually got me cold. I learned a lot. This is also my reality where I am, because I'm dealing with our people. Like question he asked Mazi Austin Shaker, why is this more in our people about betrayal of our own saviors, people that come to fight for us for our own freedom? Why is it more in black race, especially our own people? A lot of complication on the, if we start to, everybody can go 1,000 angles on this. Well, I can also add that what you see this music that Oliver the Coke and Osadebe did after the war, Ibiri Kambiri, Kaibiri Bendo. During our time when I was growing up, I'm seeing how people are behaving, those people that are rich, those people who consider rich in our areas.
how they throw money, throw party, how the society reverence them. Some of them we know that they did bad to make money, some of them. And this thing did a lot of intelligence in the psyche of us when we were growing up. It did a lot of damage. It did a lot of damage. And those damage become endemic. They form an engram that for you to be accepted in society, you have to make money. It doesn't matter how
do you know, just like the example Mazi Cheka said about a slave, when as a slave you born a child to be a child, you know that child automatically is a slave. That child will not understand what it means to be free. When he grows under slavery, you know, you transfer, the mother and the father transfer that slavery DNA into the child, and all her thinking mentalities will be about slavery, you know, living under person. You know, he will never understand that you can live as he is now, that he can live by him or herself. That is why it is difficult. I understand. Go on, please.
It's very difficult. It's very complicated. Just like example in here, and I just like elephant. Some elephant. I saw one program in India. An elephant, they put small rope on his leg. Then the elephant can easily break the rope, but he just standing there because the elephant had been used to when the elephant was younger. They tied the rope on his leg. He was not a struggle. He cannot be able to break the rope. So when the elephant is big, he's now still thinking that he cannot be able to break the rope. There's some music also. This Abuja, with all the movies, our Hollywood also this did a lot of damage to our psyche of our young people.
Everything is about Ibutike. Now brain into background. Terrible.
So now I can see some other people say that before you can make money, you have to have heart. You have to. You understand? That kind of thing have sink deep. Imagine at my age, the younger generation that are coming are even worse. So people now don't understand what it means to live upright. People don't understand what is sacrifice. People now see public service as a way to embezzle money and to reach themselves in order to belong to society, for them to be reverent. So for people to be reverent, they have to make money. It doesn't matter how lucid or how upright the way you make the money. So first, for anyone you may pay her right, or to this teach, and here with most of the teachings you are giving, there are people who are supposed to be listening to this teaching. Because of that the same sickness for after the war, because those people, they cannot be able to bring themselves low to listen, to know that something is wrongful in their own personal life. Because before you can be able to accept this type of teaching, for know that there's something wrong for you to have a change, you have to first of all conquer yourself. You conquer yourself, and how will you conquer yourself? To know that what is this life for? All this giri, all this thing, what does it end? What legacy am I going to give after I die? Okay, if after all these things, when I die, what does all this thing lead to? If somebody can be able to ask himself or herself all these questions, there's some certain things you will not do as an individual. It doesn't worth it. It doesn't work because you want to make money, then you damage the whole society. Because you want to make money, you kill everybody. You want to make money, you went and import fake drugs without knowing whoever the person wants to die. It doesn't matter who wants to die. It doesn't matter. Just to make money to be for you to be reverent, to be to our society. You understand? So it take a lot of years also before we will breed another generation that are going to think, to know that for somebody to be reverent in society, they be according to the sacrifice the person did to the society. It will take a lot of years through this teaching in Radio Biafra. It will take a lot of years because our brain, for majority of our people,
thank you, thank you. I understand.
Just keep on pushing.
We must continue. Mazi. It's true. Because, we glorify evil. The system we found ourselves in, unfortunately, we find ourselves in a very wrong system that wants us destroyed anyhow. So they made us to glorify, they glorify evil characters, and made us to lose our natural values of honesty. Honesty. They know you as an honest person in a village, and everybody respects you. Our value, before they crown you as in the olden days, they will make sure that you don't talk anyhow. You don't lie. All these things they'll tell you now. Is it? Beg to us and give us money. They piece by piece, little by little, we are destroying our values, and this is where we find ourselves. That is why even it is difficult. Even the few in IPOB, some still have this primitive character. All that they care, the matters to them is money. Now, money. That is why you can easily buy some people. That is the reason. Because of the system we found ourselves. Very horrible, devilish, demonic system of Nigeria. Had it been we had our independence, we will be training our generations, future generations, with the values we have. We inculcate it in our educational curriculum. Honesty. That not a church or mosque. No. You must not be a born again to be honest. No. I say you are proud that I'm a Biafran. Do you know why I'm honest? I'm a Biafran. It becomes your rallying, your standard. The standard. I don't lie. I'm a Biafran. You know that now. Instead of saying I don't lie, I belong to Church of Chosen. No, that is why I cannot lie. Now, our nation becomes the standard of our uprightness. Do you see it? That is what we are trying to achieve, and we start it by now. It is difficult, but it is not impossible, because what they have destroyed is too much in our brain, and we need to continue pushing. That is why it is called freedom fighting. We continue fighting. Caller on signal. Can you hear me now? Caller on signal. Caller on signal. This is the second time. Caller on signal. Are you there? Mazi, please. You should not call. If you call, I will not pick your call again. This is the second time. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, Mazi, welcome to the program. Please go on.
Thank you very much, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu. I appreciate you. I salute my brother, our brother Mazi Austin. Mazi, the lecture you people gave us this night is very, that is, I wonder, is the reason why our leader said that always categorize it as University of Radio Biafra, and this is where we worship. My name is Mazi Emmanuel. I'm calling from city of Paris. Mazi, I have been carefully listening to the analysis you gave this night, and also the analysis that our brother too has been giving, and all the headlines that you read out. I am, sometimes you see, if I remember I don't know how you concluded, or is it our brother who said that, how he referred the percentage of the dogged ones who understood the time that we are in. Not every one of us that understood, not all Biafrans, not even all, we are not even talking of Nigerians, we are talking of Biafrans. Not all, or not even the 1% you people mentioned. Even that 1% is, even if you may ask me now, I may say is questionable somehow, the credibility of those 1%, because who are you going to, what are you going to tell any human being that in a Nobel, after more than 6 years, or more than how many years of our leaders teaching, of our leaders suffering, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, traveling from one place to another, going from one country to another. Some people were not even appreciating those things that he was doing. Those people are the people you are seeing now. Those people who normally insult Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, call him to embarrass him on the radio, ask him some kind of embarrassing question, trying many ways to blackmail him. These are the people we are seeing today. They have now, find another way to come into us and start doing what? Start causing confusions in this very movement. Mazi, there is something that I don't, we black people, I have been asking myself, what is the reason why we normally settle for less? Especially Biafrans. Especially we, the people who has been right from the, I don't even know that even, I don't know even, right from the time we put our ancestors possess our land, I don't even know if they even enjoy themselves in this our land before we enter into the hand of the enemies again. I never even know. So our people, they will join hand to frustrate you. They will be join hand creating more groups, different groups to be frustrating
just
this
for
movement.
their personal interest, to not to move forward, but their personal interests only.
This is exactly the same thing our Dimo Dumegu Ojukwu suffered. He suffered more hardly. He suffered. They frustrated him, gave him wrong advices, discouraged him. But today, majority of them are now turning back to be blaming Ojukwu. If he's not our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I never knew that Ojukwu went for restructuring. I never knew that our leader, Dimo Dumegu Ojukwu, went for negotiation. I never knew that. But the story we were told, everybody in the narrative is Ojukwu is a rebel, Ojukwu caused the war, Ojukwu do this, Ojukwu do that. But today again now, see what our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is passing through. The same people who are frustrating him, if we contribute our money, put somewhere, the same people will be doing what? Disobeying this leadership, undermining the leadership of this movement, undermining the rules of engagement, the code of conduct of this movement, thinking that they are untouchable. Who is untouchable in this very movement? Who is untouchable? Nobody. Because we are putting our wealth here. We are putting our lives. We are putting not even only wealth. We are putting our lives. Mazi, do you see one thing that makes white people
so their own race different is that they will go to the black continent, Africa, totally different continent, go there, steal, kill, do everything, they commit all manner of crime there, bring that thing back to home, and they start sharing it to their own people. That is contrary to black people. We now is in the way we will be suffering, but someone will be even suffering. Nobody will agree to sacrifice his life. No one, but immediately anyone rises up to rescue the others, you will see one person there or two of them will rise up from nowhere and start fighting that person. Before you know, they will drag the whole thing down instead of them not to be on top. But that demon is what IPOB is here to cure. Because too much is too much. This is too much. Ndị Igbo ọwụrụ ọgwụ ihe a ya elekwene. Ọwụrụ ọnụ ka abụrụ anyị ihe a, anyị amandụ ka ọnụ abụrụ anyị. What is what is all this money for? Is it this money that the white people normally print? Is it not papers? Money and gold, which one is more valuable? Money and the resources that we have in our land, which one is more greater than? But our people don't know the value. They don't know what we are fighting for. What is more important to them is this 30 euro we are contributing. This 100 euro we are contributing. They want to sit on it. They want to have it so that if they collapse the struggle, then they will now be eating the money alone, enjoying themselves, forgetting the GI workers and all the whole people that died. Worker, then they will be enjoying. But time shall tell. Mazi, I don't want to take much of your time. Thank you very much for this very lecture. You are, in fact, Mazi, I do appreciate you. I have no thank you for now because all is when Biafra is restored.
Nothing is done yet until Biafra is restored.
We shall praise each other. Thank you very much, Mazi.
There were. Nothing is done yet. No credit yet until, because if Biafra is not restored, the whole effort we put is useless. So it's just like the Biafra Revolutionary War. Our soldiers, our brave soldiers that fought this and that, fought heavy, confronted people with advanced weaponry of that time, with bare hands. But we lost. And many of them are not known. Many of them are not known. Many went back and died like as peasants, as unrecognized peasants, because we didn't win. Had it been, we won. Had it been Biafra was restored, let me tell you, you will see some people you will see today, maybe they are pushing wheelbarrow. Today, you will see them, they will tell you they will not be in that position, because that time their story will be told to the public and you see them shining. So no praises now until Biafra is restored. That is when now we pat ourselves in the back or on our backs. Caller on WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, Signal. Caller on Signal, just hold on. I have callers on direct line. Only when the line is busy, they'll start calling. When like now I'm waiting, they are not calling. So I cannot continue waiting. Caller on Signal, welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Caller on Signal, are you there? Welcome to the program.
Good evening, my brother Jonathan, and good evening, Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Shall I go on?
Go on, please. Go on. Go on, Mazi. Go on.
Okay. Thank you, my brother.
Good evening to you, our brother Chika Austin. It's a pleasure to speak to you, albeit on the radio tonight. You see, the question of national interest, pursuing our national interests, it's a very good and very important topic, because this will reorientate our people to the principles. To be principled and disciplined and have values and be patriotic and be consistent. You see, when we talk about being patriotic, it means believing in Biafra to the extent that we can sacrifice anything, including our lives, for it. Making alliances for her interests, to build her up. And when we talk about being consistent in what we are doing, that means building up Biafra, no matter who who falls or who rises in the movement, and until we get Biafra, and building up Biafra beyond, when we restore Biafra, building it to be that heaven on earth as it is, as the countries that our people run to, our rich men, our thieves, politicians run to. We will be building Biafra, being consistent and being dedicated to build Biafra, to reach that level where other people will come into our space for what we can offer, and for rest even. So the question of being of percentages that was raised when you were discussing with our brother Chika, I want to emphasize that question of 1% in case of Cuba, or 5% in case of Biafra are examples. It's not exhaustive. We know that IPOB family members are a lot. If the JUL, and not only IPOB family members, because when we say IPOB family member, we are talking about those in the movement, but all Biafrans all together are in the 90s of percentage who want Biafra. If the JUL Nigeria doubt this, if the JUL doubts this, let them give us a referendum. Because in an agitation or in a movement to restore a nation, even the big American state, during the American War of Independence, our leader said, when he was on the radio in the beginning, in the around 2014 and 15, I heard from him that the core number of Americans who did the deed in the Gatsby on fire, in the Boston Tea Party, and no taxation without representation protest, are the hardcore, willing 3%. Of course, 30% of them may be in the movement, but that 3% that was doing the heavy lifting eventually pushed the colonialists out of America, and America is one of the greatest countries on earth today. So what we are talking here is dedication, having Biafra as an ideology, as a value, a system that nobody can sway us from, and that dedication will yield the fruit. And now the question of expecting, as our brother Chika, because I was listening attentively to you. Your discuss with him, the question of expecting others to be as diligent and or above board as you are in a movement. Yes, it is true that no one is perfect, and yes, people differ, but in a movement like ours, our leaders set standards. He set standards. The IPOB have standards. We have principles, like principle of discipline, principle of obedience, and also what you call command and control. These are the principles that have, and then you talk about oath of allegiance. These are things that set standards that people who are coming in will be required to meet. And then you talk about our code of conduct. These are the things that guide everybody in that movement, so that anybody who is requiring you to meet those standards would not be seen as self-deceit, but as a measure. Otherwise, the whole thing will be a jungle. For instance, when somebody is going, there's something. Let me use, direct reference. There are some behavior or some words you will utter in my hearing or in the media as a IPOB family member who is still active. I will be circumspect. I will say, is this the spirit? My mind will tell me that this is not the spirit of Biafra, that our leader, Mazi Kanu, said that we are following, that we are trying to emulate, So that's what I want to contribute in that case. And in the other hand, El Rufai, the feudalist like El Rufai, says that it is against their value system to demonstrate against the government. The same El Rufai said that they don't arrest the bandits nor prosecute them because they are business people, but they are arresting and persecuting IPOB because they want secession. Now, check IPOB today and check their brother bandits who are a veritable terrorist, but they sugar-coated them bandits so that it will be palatable and deceitful to the people. So they are saying now, so how can we be in the same country, my people, with such retrogressive and ethnic religious supremacists like El Rufai? The Fulani need to leave us to go. Let them go and have their utopia in Sharia Arewa Republic. Let us have our independent and sovereign republic of Biafra. God bless Biafra. Thank you, my brother.
God bless Biafra. There was. Thank you very much. We must continue. I have a caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
There were.
Good evening, sir. Mazi, good evening, sir.
There were. Welcome to the program.
What we are coming up to just what the better is for. So there's no way anybody on this planet can do that. The people that you have might not know when we spread it. That's why we do it. And I'm very, very glad in being part of this story. And I want to remind us, we have been over serious. It's not to feel over it's true that we have been so serious that we don't look back. But I know when this COVID started, when you finally start, even if you meet somebody on the street, he doesn't even know what is called like the 7 chocolates of Biafra, the mock. And when we do say in social media at night, start to have the license. The people that will usually oppose you are your own people, Igbos and Yorubas. Reverse. Only anybody come out on social media to contest something negative. They are all citizens where most of them have been so we have really gone fast, and there are more steps. But something to say about the infiltrators and all these saboteurs. These are most energized people like us, because if they are not here, I don't think you will be that serious. It's because they do from time to time. You now add up more seriousness. So this thing that way to stay off serious-minded people. And I know that in life, God doesn't work with population, more people. It works with few people. If not, your nation will not come and only 12 people. You have put the whole Israelite up. But you know that we need few people. Few as in the whole only people. Even in your social there is few leaders to tell you that life is not all that how we see. There is this trouble, there is this embedded in nature. And these people, they are there to sell as to energize us, and I know as a media, you do the robot as well as that. So if people I don't know why this very struggle. We will not be the thousand of because look at it, is all. But with this people, you see that we fire our mind of what we are doing. Don't follow that the devil, is fighting us by who they are sent us. This is only really tough. That we are going forward. And I want to really, tell IPOB, tell Biafrans, tell the whole world that the hand that shot this arrow that is holding the Biafra, it is a very strong hand, and it is mighty as in the creator itself. So anything any time they might do to us, it is strengthening us. Anything, if I even want them to go as far, bringing what we have not seen before. All of it is strengthening us, and if you make the African coming to be, miracle, to be, the sense or mighty wonders of the world. So I really thank God that I'm part of this conversation and this radio program and IPOB and the restoration of Biafra. The lovely thing. I want to restore the genuinely to see stuff as a sense. Because these disciples that give their life, they didn't have any earthly reward. They know that their reward is outside the life after. Here we are, selflessly fighting for something that we will not even be the ones to gain it. With what we have taken. Many have put their life. We couldn't forget this fight. So many of them. So the same people that we are fighting, the same people we are fighting for them, people that is foreign people. So all of these things, we are all but we are in the side of we are in the right path. We are in the right path. So I really thank Nnamdi and I feel for him on the daily basis. I don't think anybody like Nnamdi come to an end. It's the last desire that God has sent in our own time. And we should be grateful. Because if it's in that same age, where would we be? Everybody that already know who to do here. To even say that people that you're fighting will be 100 and fighting, but here we are. We basically a platform, the social media, all of the things that have been in our discussion for which we will be enlightened and know where we are heading to. So all must be therefore. I say the people that bless you, bless all your family, bless everyone, really as you hold you and the rest of them. We are going somewhere and the word is there. Thank you.
Mazi, thank you. As we are, there is a breaking news of Zuba being under attack in Abuja. In Abuja this Thursday night, breaking gunmen invade Zuba in Abuja. Caller on direct line, please. Welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Go on. Let me not waste your credit. Can you hear me? Caller on direct line, please go on. Can you hear me? Go on, please. There we go. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you people for all you are doing for us. And I thank God also for giving you people the strength. Because as Aba Radio is going, Aba Radio is talking. That's where we are enjoying your program.
Oh, Aba is talking now.
May God strengthen you people. We are following up. May God strengthen you people.
There we and you too.
Yes, sir.
So Aba Radio is talking now, eh? Very good. Very, very good. Very good.
We are following you. We are following you, sir.
There, well, thank you very much. Remain blessed. Caller on. Let me see. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Welcome to the program.
Yes, Mazi, I can hear you loud and clear.
There, well, go on, please.
My name is Nnamdi. I'm calling from Moka. Anambra State, Biafra land.
Go on,
So, Mazi Jonathan, I don't have much to explain myself on this line because of people are listening to me. But I want to have a personal issue with you. But I was very happy on the lecture which you give this evening. So, because this is a problem between our people here in the Biafran land. No one is fighting for the freedom. We are fighting for our pocket. Everybody is fighting for a post to become a treasurer or financial thing. So that is a too much problem in this Biafran land, in midst of our families. But Mazi Jonathan, don't be offended. I need your personal contact. I'll send many messages for you.
Okay, what you are going to do, you continue listening after the program. After the program, I will call you, or you call me, please, because I cannot record you. No, after the program, please, you call me. Just
no problem.
Conclude, please. Okay.
Thank you.
Done. Caller on Signal. Welcome to the program. Caller on Signal. Can you hear me? Caller on Signal. Welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Concentrate on your phone. Go on, please.
Yes, sir. Please, we are most taxes. I'm sorry. Living great Biafrans all over the world. My name remains Mazi Nkochi Wisdom. I'm calling from my location. I'm from Ohaji. Ohaji is in Imo Province, Biafra land. Mazi, I want to appreciate you for the analysis, and also our brother Chika Austin. May God bless all of you. Mazi, yes, in this struggle, we need to put the interest of Biafra before any. Likewise, me, I don't need any other person. Do you know, before I will do anything right now, I'll first of all think about Biafra before doing whatever. If I want to go out right now, even though that is what that will benefit me, what I will think first. Today, how have I been on Twitter? What have I done in other things that will make sure that Biafra is restored? So I put Biafra interest first before my interest, which anybody that call his or herself an IPO member should put the interest of the nation of Biafra at heart before anything you can do, not putting your own selfish interest at first. Biafra first before, even before you drink a water, you think about Biafra first before drinking that water. Before you eat any food, think Biafra first before you eat that food. If we start doing like this, I'm telling you that we must, make sure that we stick and restore Biafra, and nothing will shake you, nothing will make you to move backward. No matter what the enemy must promise you, maybe to those that they will approach, even those that the international body may use against the struggle. If you have the interest of the nation of Biafra at heart, you can never think of betraying this struggle. What is money? Ordinary people, like what one of our brothers said, what you will live on this earth one day and die, But when you have the interest that what pursue that, the national interest, which is the interest of Biafra, which is for the future generation, these children we are giving birth today, is the interest of them first before any other thing. And also, I want to use this opportunity to tell the cabals, because there is nothing like Buhari. They should release our leader. Even this night, Abuja is under attack. They did a federal executive whatever meeting today, but even at it, Abuja is under attack. So what I'm saying, they should release our leader, because Abuja is not safe, and nothing should happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you much for picking my comment.
And you too. Thank you very much. As we are saying, Abuja is under heavy attack in Zuma. That's it. Is under attack. Let me see. I had the news. I didn't know how Yes. I want to read it a bit before continuing. Before I do that, because it will lead to the conclusion of or wrapping up of this program. Caller on WhatsApp, welcome to the program. You are going to be you'll be the last caller, please. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
There, welcome to the program.
My name is Emmanuel. I'm speaking from Accusations. Thank you very much, Jonathan. And the opponent. It is not too good for what our people are doing by this time. I feel very, very scared. Before now, after the teaching, after the lecture from our leader for years, and still you can see some group of people messing themselves up. Then I will start to ask, what is wrong with the black people, especially the Igbo race? If you cannot understand what Nigeria means by now, and you believe by collecting money from politicians and from Fulani in Nigeria to destroy your future, your name is sorry. The problem we have in black race in Igbo land is that people don't know the meaning of one to have freedom. That freedom covers everything, nothing left. But in Igbo land, in Nigeria, they believe to collect nothing, to sell themselves as a slave. If all this thing that is happening in Nigeria for years cannot teach Igbo people lesson, it's a pity. Ndị Igbo si n'ebe nwata na-aba akwa na-atụ aka ma nne ya nọ ya nọ. O nwere ihe m chọpụtara taa. O nwere onye si na America na program anọzi okwu today. O kwuchara okwu ike kwụrụ ọtọ gwụrụ. Ndị na-elekọta this movement anya ga-agba mbọ call somebody like Kanu and Nene, and the one they call professor, whatever he call himself, and they ask them very big question, because what people are doing is wrong. The Fulani have succeeded buying off some people to destroy this struggle. That is how I see it. So everything possible must be done to prevent what is going on. And again, onwere mmadụ abụọ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kpọrọ aha, nwoke nkwọ and Mazi Ozurumba. Ndị a ndị nọ na America riri ego Ipob. And echebe m na since ya no nwere ụzọ isi jide these people, because America wụ Nigeria. America wee ba na-asọpụrụ iwu. Ka jide these people, eme ka ihe dum nwere ike ime, maka finance is the key everything a na-eme. Na-eji si finance ike, onye ọbụla riri $1 Ipob, a deal with him seriously. That is, deal with him seriously. It's very important. because ihe ndị a na-eme ugbu a wee ga-azụkọrọ some people na America and some other places nye ha ego ha destroy ya this movement. Ọ dị very very bad. Ọ bụ ihe kwesịrị ka a na-ekwu ka onye ọzọ nụọ ya. O jọgburu Delis gbuo nkapụ. Olee ihe mmadụ ga-eji ya bịa in a movement ya na-achọ ka ya ga nọrọ n'isi ebe onye ahụ ala ya ọ nọrọ n'isi mgbe ọ n'isi ọ nọ isi ebe ahụ ya na-achọ ịnata connection ndị Nigeria. Even before then ọ nata ya anata na-achọ ka ọ banye pasasị everything agbachie onye ahụ nkịtị. Onye ahụ eri ego hapụ ya. Ihe a ga-emebi ọtụtụ ihe n'ili anya. And the Kanu and the so-called prophet or what of nonsense. Because ndị Igbo na prophet na ala juru ihe ọhụrụ ọnụ is very very bad. Ihe na-eme ndị Igbo for over how many years? Ya ruo n'oge e nwetara mmadụ, Chineke zitere mmadụ ka onye aka n'ihe ahụ. Ya ruo oge ndị ekwensu bụrụ ọnụ, ndị Chineke bụrụ ọnụ, ndị ajọ mmụọ bụrụ ọnụ, na-ewelite isi ka ha gburu ohu. Amaghị ihe ga-eme n'ọdịnihu. Ya bụ na ndị ọcha kpọrọ ndị black asị 100% before. Ha ga-adọbụli ya to 250%. And ọ ga-emetụta ma ndị nwụrụla, ndị ga-anwụ, ma ndị ga-anọ ndụ. So ihe m na-ekwu ugbu a wụ gị mara na iwepụtara obi gị na-azọ nwere onwe onweghị ego mmadụ nwere ike inye gị ga-ele anya n'azụ. Ihe ọwa ọgbanwụ na ndụ, ihe obi imechaa mgbe ị nwụrụ, ụmụ ndị a ga-abụ na 50 years coming, 100 years coming emegbu ya nchọ. Ọ ya wuru mmadụ ụba nọpụtara ụwa. N'ịpụta ụwa ma o nwee ihe ịrụpụtara ka ị nọcha ngwụ onweghị ụmụ wee bịara n'ụlọ ọba ha. Ile anya n'ihe na-eme n'ala Igbo taa, ị ga-emeri ndị Igbo. Ewezụga Nnamdi ndị Ipob, ndị Igbo alaala na nai because ndị ahụ ịkpọrọ gọvanọ, Senate, House of Representatives, State House of Assembly, all these criminals Fulani ewere Fulani achọpụtala nye onye Igbo ego ọ ga-egbu ịhụrụ ihe na-eme a na-akọpụ aka eke. So onye ọbụla jisi ike, this is the opportunity anyị nwere iji dọpụta ndị ọdịnihu. Some of us is as our 70 years and above. We have nothing to do even anymore. Ọtọ na-ewe anyị oge ịpụta ikwu okwu na redio because anyị maara ihe freedom pụtara. Mara na Nigeria wee ọkụ mmụọ na onye ọbụla na-edite dị Nigeria ekwesị ka ọ bata ụlọ gị ga-ekunye mmiri nke ọnwụọ. Sabotua iweta sabotua dete wete Fulani mee were Fulani. Sabotua ekwesị ka o mee exist and ndị Fulani na-ekwe ka sabotua ma exist, but because of religion na condition nọ n'ala Igbo mere eji a na-eluwe sabotua ha bịa mụọ karịzie. Ya wuru ndị Igbo na-ewere sabotua dị ka biznes. Mmadụ ime sabotua ya were as a business. Gị hụ sabotua ahụ Fulani buru ụzọ bụ sabotua gbubufu ya isi n'ihi na ọwụ mmadụ o kwesịrị ịbata very close n'ebe ị nọ. Gị nwa onye Igbo ịnọ na Amerịka ị na-eche na ụbọchị ezuolara gị. For that reason ihe na-eme n'ala Igbo agbasara gị, nsogbu adịghị. Ọ ụbọchị ị nwụrụ ya wụrụ ịlụ nwaanyị, ya wụrụ ịmụtara ụmụ, mgbe ahụ ka ị ga-ama ihe mere onwe gị, nke ndị nọ ndụ ga-ama ihe unu je. N'ihi mgbe Nnamdi Kanu na-ekwu possible ndị America ga-sponsor this movement because I'm a regular listen to radio Biafra. And ngwa ngwa ha nụrụ ihe ndị Fulani were ego na-azụ ndị ahụ ha na-eme ihe ya nwere ike ime ka ha mebie dị strọgụ. O nwekwa oge Nnamdi Kanu kwuru okwu maka na ụmụ nwaanyị mgbe ụmụ nwaanyị pụtara ha anụkwa dati news ha ga-wekwara ụmụ nwaanyị na Amerịka kwa olee ihe mere unu ihe a ya dịwa ụbọchị nta ya chọọ n'Owerre nchi ihe onye metere nọ na-eche ọkwa ego iricha ego ahụ otu ụbọchị ga-emechi ọnụ mechie anya iburu gị tụba n'ime ili and that's the end of your self. Ekwensu bụkwa ndị oyi ndị na-amaghị ihe. Thank you very much, Mazi.
Mazi. Thank you very much. This is where I'm going to, and there is this caller. I'll give you 2 minutes. Caller on WhatsApp. I am closing. Please, you have 2 minutes. Caller on WhatsApp. I shouldn't take you, but I just did. Can you hear me? You have 2 minutes, please. Mazi,
good evening, Dr. Jonathan.
Off your listening device now. Do I have to tell you?
Yeah, Professor Jonathan. How are you, my brother?
Mazi, you have 2 minutes because I'm closing, please. 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you for taking my call. You're speaking to a brother who's in with the scavenger. I'm calling from Africa Sud, South Africa. Mazi Jonathan, did you see that all the people that our leader praised in this radio Biafra are now, most of them are our problem?
Of course.
All the people both from Uchemefo to Simon Ipa, from Simon Ipa to a lady called Lenianya. Can you see what they're doing to our movement? If what we are hearing is true, then it's very bad. But what I wanted to tell Biafra and IPOB members, the strong ones, he said, I wanted to tell them this in Igbo language. You know, during Ogosa Biona, Ka Esma Abuja, everything na Abuja, no Sa Biona. We not to know, ne timpu. Na chose even on my mom almost many na sota na nke suffer gora suffer nke no mara carry be akota si am man ma mara kwa nke carry be o nke na asa asoko nke suffer gora suffer o si mo okay na nke ka na sota ka nuk ta nke suffer gora suffer. Because Nankana suffer if you go anya Ogagori Agama Nankana Nadia, a mother the quantity of gauge where a mother with speed, a mother with the powers where. So engineer we have the reason why I wanted to say it, I wanted to tell Biafrans, all IPOB members, who know the number, happen ha, I to go with I hobona, they eat it. Don't worry. Try your best and put more because Ndibo na team sina ana fetarineze ana ejaono. So people will be kaunu na aka una atu n'ujo una atu n'egwu una asina na eriena maọbụ na nke a mere nke a na nke a mere Chineke ga na-agọzi unu more and more ka unu na-ewepụta ndị niile kwere na IPOB ndị niile bụ follower Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kwere na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ihe ọ gwara anyị wee anyị ga na-eso DOS inanya na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu nwebe mbọsị o toro Chike Edozie m na re nwebe mbọsị o toro agbaghị m ma nwụrụ na radio mana they are doing all the work, doing everything to make sure that Biafra come today. You, even Mazi Jonathan, nwebe mbọsị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru about you on radio man in on the ground where all the radio anchors, you, all of you are very strong and stay today, and we believe in you, and you are the one. Anything you talk, we will hear you because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu instituted DOS to lead us. Biafrans, IPOB members, don't worry. Continue. Even yesterday, we got meeting and I pay my monthly dues. I have to do it. But yes, and I have to put. Whether you eat it, it's your own problem. It's you who is going to die for eating somebody's money.
It's you who is eating burger. Wanted to eat the natural milk, eating cockroach. Is eating. You eat burger, you eat everything. It's not enough for you. You want to eat the one that is enough for me to buy cockroach to eat. You people must take careful of what you are doing, because you will receive the repercussion. What we want is Biafra, and know that thing. Biafra or nothing. There is nothing you people can do. If it's 2 or 3 of us remain, Biafra must come. There is nothing you can do.
Of course.
It's not because of money that this Biafra is moving. It's because God ordained it to move. Thank you, Mazi Jonathan, because I'm the last person for taking my call. Biafrans, I love you. Ipob members, you are my blood. Bye.
Mazi Chick Austin, can you hear me? There were Mazi the scavenger. Yeah, please.
I'm here.
You are closing a remark, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mazi, once again, and thank you, great Biafrans, for your time so far. One thing I believe is that nothing weakens the oppressor than the resolute position of the oppressed. It doesn't matter. Any day the oppressed decide to understand the efficacy, the importance of strongly maintaining their demand, believe you me, the oppressor will start feeling the end of his oppression. As it stands now, everyone is sitting up to the reality that we are not backing down, not today, not tomorrow, not forever. And I believe everybody is now readjusting to the fact that our demand must be met for. So, our people, we must be strong, we must be strategic also as much as we can, and we must be calculative. Every single development unveiling can be maximized if we want to, and it lies on our own doorstep to look at events as they are unfolding and make a proper maximization of them. Maz, I want to thank you once again, and I appreciate most.
Thank you for being here. And Biafrans and lovers of freedom, as our brother said, we must continue. The only weapon that weakens the oppressor is continuity, consistency. Once you are distracted and you start pursuing another thing, being polarized, the oppressor will laugh and put more fire to that polarization. That is the reality. Therefore, as I said, we should continue having or focusing on our common national interests. And the only interest we have as a people is the restoration of Biafra. We have never had this type of opportunity before. We are all and sundry. We are organized into a very big, formidable movement in order to focus on one thing. Since the end of the Biafra Revolutionary War, we've not had this type of opportunity before. It started from one man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we will never let it down. It doesn't matter what people's private extreme interests or selfish interests they pursue. It will never distract us, neither debar us. Instead, it should encourage us the more to continue doing the right thing. Therefore, Biafra is our religion. We will never depart. It is either Biafra or Biafra. There is no other option. Nothing is not an option. It is either Biafra or Biafra. So, we continue because it is our ideology, it is our religion. We must continue what we are doing. As I said, there is a breaking news of gunmen as they write. I know it's a Fulani terrorist. Thursday night invaded Zuba, a town under Gwagwarada area council of the Federal Capital Territory, bordering Niger State, shooting in the process. They are taking over everywhere. And in this process, they might kill the impostor or kidnap him. It will be the exit point. Do you see what the caliphate is doing? But we understand. That is why they should release our leader unconditionally. We want them. We want them. Thank you for listening to this hallowed platform, and you continue listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, together with Mazi Cheka Austin, it is simply good evening.
Biafra,